I'm sitting on a fitness.
This shit's fire.
All right, and we are back. And ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to sit down with my friend in the legend, David Loikits.
Loikits.
Okay, see, I was hoping I was going to get that right. I was talking with my wife about it. She's like, "You won't murder it." I usually do, so I got it right. But anyway, Dave, dude, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thanks, man. It's an honor to have. Yeah, I'm glad you had me, and we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember I was going back through some photos you had posted, and I was like, dude, I knew I met him because that was me doing the interview at Azra at Daytona 200 in October, right? So while we're on the subject, let's talk about Azra. It was man,
it was good. It was a good turnout, wasn't it? It was a good turnout. The new organization's pulling some riders, and it was good. I dug it. Yeah.
It was really good. I was actually surprised there were so many people there, to be honest with you.
What was it like for you to basically fill the shoes of the immortal Richard Chambers? Right? It's the big shoes.
I don't know how to answer that. It was unexpected. So big shout out to Kenny Abbott. Kenny had called me up and said, "Hey, I got a gig to Rain Man," right? He said, "Hey, I got this gig with Daytona, filling in for XYZ shoes. I need somebody to help me do some announcing." And I was like, let's go. I'm in, let's go. Right. Funny story, backstory on this. Jersey, last round, Moto America 2025. Me, my buddy Matt Chapin, DeMario, Ryan Wolf, Matty Salum, we're all standing there and we're talking about the commentators in Moto America. And they all looked at me and they were like, "You need to do the commentating, blah, 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 blah." And I just laughed and said, maybe one day I'll get the opportunity, and didn't think nothing else about it. Fast forward to October and get the phone call, and there I am. So I just remember being in the bathroom, bro, and I had my Daytona gear on, the headset and the mic and all this. And I took a picture, a selfie, and I sent it to my wife. And the only thing I said was, "How the fuck did I get here?" Right? and she laughed, and she says, "Listen, just be yourself and go do your thing. The thing for you is you already know most of the people there anyway, so it'll make it easier." And man, honestly, it was a dream come true, man. It was absolutely an amazing experience. Hope I get to have the chance and the honor to do it again. It was definitely different, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, especially your first time doing it, right? You want to put out a good product for everybody, So yeah, I understand the pressure of the first time, and just like anything else, the more you do it, it just becomes natural,
second nature, right? Yeah, it was. I got a lot of compliments and obviously a lot of love, so that helped me up throughout the whole weekend. And it also helped that again, I did know a lot of the people there already.
Of course, yeah.
And dude, it just happened so fast, though. Now looking back at it, like I said, when you posted those pictures, I was like, I wonder if I interviewed him. And I'm looking through them, and I was like, I did, dude. That's why I said that. I was like, hey, that's me, right?
Dude, Ant Hall and I, the Formula 40, it was every year we square off. It is it's crazy. I whole shot, and then he'll pass me, and I'll pass him. He'll pass me, I'll pass him, and it always knock on wood. I'm fortunate that I'm really good at timing that finish line. So yeah, it was. So you, after that race, you interviewed me, and it was cool. It was cool.
You absolutely murdered it that weekend, my friend. Absolutely proud of you. And that whole weekend was just crazy. Seeing another thing that I wasn't aware of. They had mentioned it, but at the time they mentioned it, it never really sunk in. And they're talking about doing the whole Nikki Hayden Horizon Award, and they're like, "Who want you to do the interview?" And I just kind of was like, it just went in one ear and out the other, because I was just, my head was just like, I can't believe I'm gonna do commentating. That's like all I was focused on, right?
Yeah.
So come Saturday, I forget the guy's name from the FIM and AMA comes up to me. He's like, "Are you ready?" I said, "Am I ready for what?" He's like, "Dude, we're gonna present the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award." I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about that." He's like, "Yeah, and you're gonna do the interview." And I was like, "You want me to do the interview?" He's like, "Dude," I was like, "I'm not even prepared. I ain't got no speech or nothing." He's like, well, you just wing it all the time anyway, don't you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you got this. And I was like, absolutely right. I got this, right? Dude, I was shitting bricks the whole time. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was
you pulled it off though, man.
It was
Dude,
yeah.
Richard Chambers, he'd get ripped. He'd be ripped by noon, right? And do you remember back in the day when it was Formula USA, they did the speed screen when Lockhart Phillips. It was a speed screen unlimited Grand Prix. Well, I have him on tape. I have him on tape. He called it the Sunscreen Unlimited GP. He'd be wasted by like noontime, but still he was entertaining. Like he was really good. And he and Pat they were back and forth. They could finish each other's sentences. So anyway, but yeah, you guys have some big shoes to fill, but you pulled it off. It was good for the first run,
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And thank you to everybody that gave me the love and support out there too, as well. It was it was reassuring, right? Every time I walk by people, they're like, "You got this, Simcoe, go! I love it," and I was like, "Let's go!" Right? Yeah. So again, it's. And I say this all the time on the podcast. If it wasn't for you and everybody else coming on here, I wouldn't be doing this. Same thing at Daytona. I felt the same love. It was absolutely incredible. So, dude, since we're on the subject of Daytona, man, walk us through your weekend of the whole Azra Daytona.
So, okay, so let me go back a year and a half at Summit Point in 24, the last race of the weekend. I chucked it off the racetrack into the tire wall, chasing Mark Heckles in the Formula 40. Last race of the weekend. It was probably like 3:00 in the afternoon, and I had a front tire on that I had on for too many heat cycles, and I thought I could get away with it for one more race. And anyway, I lost the front. And long story short is I had the bike apart, and I just got the bike back together with new bodywork and paint job and all the stuff about maybe a week before Daytona in just last October. So drove down by myself. Mike Scott and Tyler Scott were down there. So I always have my boys are always down there, but my girlfriend couldn't make it with that round. But anyway, haven't been on the bike in a year and a half. First race of the weekend, won it. Second race, the GTO. Second race, fourth. And then, so I had out of 4 races, I had a 1, 2, a 3, and a 4. I 3 podiums, and haven't been on the bike in a year and a half, so it felt really good, And the thing is, too, it's always this, man. I've been racing a long time, and you always go through this psycho thing in your head. You're driving it, even though you prepare, you're driving down there, and you have a lot of miles to think, and you're thinking, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be good enough? And because everyone's watching, and everyone expects a certain level from you, and certainly I do. And luckily and fortunately, it works out. It worked out, and I did well. So the bike worked great. Sex rocket. That's the sex rocket right there.
The sex rocket. I love it.
Yep. Thing's a missile.
That's the name of this episode, the sex rocket.
Sex rocket. That's what I called. Yeah, when I built it, I started calling it that. So
I love it, dude.
It's the way it makes you feel when it's just. I mean, man.
I do. Oh. There's no greater feeling than throwing your leg over 2 wheels, right? It's like it's the only thing in the world besides doing this or being at the racetrack where my mind is not racing at 15 million miles an hour, and I got who knows running through it at all times, right? So it's hard to sleep because of this. I can't never just flip it off, right? But the 2 wheels is the only thing, man. I remember when my grandma passed away. The only thing I want to do was ride. Like, I remember my dad called me up. I'm at work. I'm bawling. He's like, "You want me to come pick you up?" I said, "I'm going for a ride." We absolutely do not think that's a good idea. I said, "Don't give a shit. I need it. I need it."
Good clean out.
Bro, it was gone for like 7 hours.
Yeah, right.
Turned my phone completely off. Didn't care who called me. Didn't care if the missiles coming. The world was going to end in 30 minutes. Didn't give a shit. Really didn't. Right. Yep. And when you get involved with 2 wheels, you don't understand the time, how much it's going to affect and change your life, and the people you're going to meet on this beautiful journey all along the way.
All around the world, dude. Amazing. All around the world.
You
and I know we can both say this with confidence. We can go. I've met people all around the world, and you can make a phone call, and they'll put you up for a week, and it's the most amazing people, especially the race paddock, because everyone's been through it. They know it, it's when you're on the road and you need a place to stay, you have more money for tires. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right on that. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed and everybody wants to help everybody out.
Of
And
course,
it's
yeah.
the most unique thing I've ever been involved in. And there's, I grew up playing soccer because that's a sport that I still watch to this day, and people give me shit about it. Don't give a
Right.
shit. Love soccer. But the real football people,
Mhm.
yeah, and you just can't compare it. You just really can't. It's a unless you're a part of it and you're into it, you just don't understand, right? So I try to get everybody. I'm like, dude, let's go to the races. Let's go to the club races. I brought my buddy last year to a club race, and he went to Moto America with me. And he's like, this ain't nothing like Moto America. I was like, no, it's a club race, bro, but enjoy it. It's awesome. It's free. It's open. Like, let's go.
Yeah. The Moto America, we'll talk about that later as the story goes by. But the time of I started racing. I raced a little bit in 91 and 92 road racing, and then I stopped for like 10 years. And I got back into it in like 2003, and I was in my 30s at the time. So I did some AMA super bike series, the super stock. We'll talk about it later, but the club racing at that stage of my life in my 30s, I preferred the club racing because the racing was awesome, right? But we're all older. We all want to kick each other's grandmother down the steps, right, to win, right? But at the end of the day, we're grilling out, dude, and we're shit talking, and yeah, at that stage of my life, that's what I really 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 dug, and I'm sure you get that.
I do, because it's so laid back, right? And it's just like, I feel like when you go to the Moto America race, and I'm not saying my friends ain't their true selves, but they are just for that brief, quick conversation we have together, that it's that other headspace that they need to be in to be at the track, right?
Yep.
Which I totally understand. That's why I love the club races, because I can show up, I can sit down and actually for an hour have a conversation while they're grilling out steaks and burgers and crack open a beer and get to catch up.
And the political in Moto America, it's just a fact. When I was racing the AMA Superbike Series from 2004 to 2009, you've got to be like, no pictures of you doing stupid stuff on, where club racing is more, it's more enjoyable. The whole weekend experience was at that stage of my life was I really really dug that, and like we were just talking about previously, I've got made some amazing friends, like type AAA lunatic friends. That's what this is all.
That's what it's all about, and a lot of stories we can't tell on the podcast, people.
Yeah, Jesus. hey, most of our young lives, we were around before the internet. Thank God. Jesus Christ, right?
Bro, we'd be in jail for sure. 110%, dude. The shit we did back in the day would not fly today, people.
I know.
A fact.
Oh.
Yeah. But you know what? One day, me and you, David, we'll sit down and we'll tell all the stories that can't be told right now. And that's the beauty of of later on, right? But yeah, so listen, dude, I want to get into it, man. Where did it all start with you on two wheels? Where did it all begin?
All right, so my parents had me when they were really young. My mom was like 16. My dad was like 19 or 20, right? So they separated when I was 3. So I remember when I was around 5, my dad would come pick me up, equal custody, that kind of thing, right? So he'd come pick me up on his Sportster, right? So he worked at the Bethlehem Steel, and he was a foreman of number 2 machine shop at the Bethlehem Steel. It's one of the largest steel manufacturers in the world at the time. Anyway, long story short, he'd come pick me up on a Sportster, and I would like couldn't wait. So I'd sit in front of him. I'd put my hands on the bars, and I'd put my left foot on top of one of the cylinder heads, and I'd put my right foot on top of the air cleaner. It had like an oval air cleaner. I'd sit there, and anyway, I loved it. I absolutely loved riding on a motorcycle. And then he would I'd go to he dropped me off at my grandparents on on the Loikits' side, and he would go out for a couple hours. But I remember sleeping up in the bedroom with the windows open, a hot summer night, and it would be like 12 o'clock or whatever, brop, 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 and then the cops are chasing them, man. And I thought it was the coolest thing. You'd always smoke them, So, and then my uncle, my dad had a younger brother, Danny. My dad's Dave Senior, and my uncle Danny is 11 years. No, he's 11 years older than I am. But anyway, he was the younger brother, and same thing. He had real fast Sportsters, and it was like a regular thing. It was like the Dukes of Hazzard. It was like a contest. There was no hard feelings, but it was like a contest between them and the cops all the time. And I thought it was the funniest damn thing, That's the way cops are. They're like dogs. If you throw a ball, they're going to chase it,
100%.
Their tail wags. Anyway, but so I thought it was the coolest thing. So then my uncle, we have a lot of limestone quarries around here, a lot of deep limestone for cement. So my uncle would have like dirt bikes, like let's say a Kawasaki 250, 2-stroke, just a trail bike and stuff. So I do the same thing. I would ride on the front, and he'd go like 30 miles an hour, burp, 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 to the edge of the quarry, like 200-foot drop, jagged rock and stuff, right? So he'd stop like 10 feet, it was. But when I'm 5 years old, it was like, whoa. So I got this adrenaline thing. I was conditioned to have that thing, And then I grew up a little bit, and my grandfather bought me my first dirt bike. It was a 78 YZ80 2-stroke. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I was a cornfield rider. I ripped around the cornfields and jumps, and we have a lot of natural terrain around here. There's a lot of topography and natural terrain around here. So we would do all kinds of wild jumps, like step up jumps. We would find just like that. We didn't even have to build anything because there's all this topography that was with elevation change. So did a lot of stuff like that, and then I got an 81 YZ80, ripped that around, and then I started motocrossing at 15. I was a District 6 amateur here in Pennsylvania, and started motocrossing on an 83 YZ 125, and was an amateur for about 3 or 4 years. Took a couple years till I started to really, really do good at it. And then I would get like new bikes. I had an 83, an 84, an 85, an 86. I had a 90 YZ 125. And then I turned expert. And then it was 96. I got my pro license. I was like a top 5, top 6 local expert. Okay. Motocross, District 6. And then I got a 96 CR 125 from Mike Scott, from Ty's dad. He has Scott's Power Sports. It was a Honda Yamaha dealer. So I nickel plated the frame. One thing about me, I love to have beautiful stuff, right? So I tore the frame down to just the bare frame and had it nickeled and everything. And I got my pro license, and I did some nationals on the East Coast here. I did Binghamton, New York. I did Unadilla. I did Budds Creek, Maryland, and High Point. And I almost qualified. It was so hard to qualify for a full gate. It was a 125, the 2-strokes, right? And I almost made the show at Unadilla and Binghamton, but I'll tell you, man, it was hard. Like you show up, and you haven't, like, a High Point. I remember going to High Point, and I'd never been on that track. And if I remember correctly, I wasn't able to do a practice day. Well, I went out in the morning. We're talking Steve Lamson, Doug Henry.
The legends, yeah.
Dude, yeah. So I went out in the morning practice, and these dudes are, I was overwhelmed. Because I didn't have time on the track. And the thing is, these jumps, you're not going to make the show unless you do you have to do the jumps. You have to. And I remember there was a jump at Budds Creek. It was like a 50 mile an hour, 5th gear downhill drop off. And it was like about a 60-foot span where if you clipped the lower drop off, you were going to be in a helicopter. Absolutely. And I remember I couldn't muster up to do it. Didn't make the show. But that's the point is these guys, they're incredible. You had to do these jumps, and if there was pressure to do that. So I hit a certain level in motocross where I was trying to figure out how to go faster, and I took the Gary Bailey School of Motocross down in Virginia, and he taught me a lot of little tricks that they do, and I got a little faster. So I was racing back home, local District 6 stuff, and all the guys that were beating me, I would go up and ask them. They didn't work. They would practice 3 times a week. You're up doing air filters till 11 o'clock at night. They all had personal trainers and nutritionists, dietitians, that kind of thing. And right then and there, I knew, because I was, dude, you'll be going through a rough section, whooped out, swapped out, fourth gear, whoop, like as fast as you could go, heart rate at like 190, right? And some dude just goes, brrr, and he's gone. Like, come on, like, yeah. So I knew that this wasn't gonna.
I wasn't cutting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, I'm like you. I remember I was talking all this shit. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling good on the dirt bike. I'm hitting some of these jumps. We're like, we're to go this motocross track. I forget the name of the track. And we get out there and there's this triple, and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, today I got my thong on. All that shit I talked. Yeah, I'm definitely a wussy. 110%. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. And they're just sending it. And I'm like, yeah, that's not me at all.
I remember, like, talk about people that you meet. I remember we're at Binghamton, New York, is Broome, Tioga, and I had a small trailer, outdoor, an open trailer, and this guy comes up, pits next to me, and he had like a CR250 or something, and he takes his shirt off, and it looked like he was like gunshots all over his body. I mean, like scars, like impaled. I go, dude, what the hell happened to you? He goes, professional bull rider. Chris,
oh, shit.
I've never seen a mutilated body. I'm not even kidding, man. He was a professional bull rider. That was before the helmets and all the, now they wear all the body armor and stuff. This dude was gored up like I've never seen. It was unbelievable. So he's telling me all these stories about bull riding, but yeah, I remember that was wild. Yeah. It looked like he had like 50 gunshots in it on his
That's
crazy.
insane. I ain't riding no bull. I'm not going to Spain and standing out there when they release them either. Nope, absolutely not, people. That is not me. I'll be up on top of the building, watch all you guys run like cockroaches laughing, because that's not me.
So
me and Dave will be up there for sure, sharing drinks, laughing.
So I said to you about, we have a lot of limestone quarries around here with the topography. So my buddies growing up, they raced as well. I got a lot of my younger friends into motocrossing, and what we would do, we'd have these ledge jumps. There'd be like because it's a quarry, there's a lot of excavation, so they would make these giant piles of dirt, and then there'd be another 30 feet off the pile of dirt, but there'd be the ledge of the quarry or whatever, right? So we'd have to like haul ass like fourth gear and hit and go up and just make it to the top of the ledge, like. And then we would go, oh yeah, because it was a big dare session. You have to dare each other. That was what it was always about, ego, right? So then we go, all right, now let's see who can jump off the ledge and down onto the dirt. Like it was that way all the time.
Love it. I love it. It's always fun when you got a bunch of lunatics that just don't give a shit, take the brain out, and let's just wing it and have fun, right? Those are the best stories. I remember my buddy. We was at Pensacola at the time, and he had a YC80, and we built this little fire and this makeshift 2 ramps. And bro, like if I caught my son doing that shit right now, I'd be pissed. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I'd be like, let me help you build the ramp, and the fire's got to be bigger, and you got to hit it in fourth gear instead of second gear. Let's go. Mama's gonna kill me, but let's go, right? Yeah, that's the dad I am. Like, it's got to be bigger. But yeah, I remember those. Listen, the childhood we had.
It is how we all are. We all have to one up each other,
100%, dude. 100%. It don't, and if you end up breaking some, it was cooler because I broke my shit, dude. Like, 110%. I want to get to a couple of these comments real quick. We got the legend himself from Chris Crizell says first in for the comments. Yes, you were, my friend, and thank you for tuning in. And of course, we got another legend, a good buddy of mine, Seth Storms, dude. He says, yes, sir. And then another good buddy of mine, Tim, says, hell yeah, let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Robert Maxwell, what's up, my man? He says, do you remember the old motocross track up in Peoria, Arizona? I do. I forget the name of it. He says it was like north off of I-17. Might have been up by surprise. It was. I just can't think of the name of it. One thing I do love about Arizona, though, was I remember being out there in there. It's desert. So you could literally leave town and drive out in the middle of fucking nowhere, you and your mates, dude, and just pull off to the side and build a fire and break out the motocross bikes or whatever and just rip
That's
it,
cool.
dude.
Under the stars.
Under the stars, man. It was the most surreal thing. And I often think about those times to this day because it was
free.
Oh, dude. That's the best word for it. The most freedom you could ever feel. It was just insane, man. It really was. Best times ever. Right? There was no jumps. There was none of that. It was just bonfires, beers, motocross bikes, and talking shit, dude. Right? Like,
yeah. It's amazing, you know, and all of that stuff that we went through, it basically it heat treated it hardened us. It heat treated us compared to these kids today, man. Jesus Christ,
bro, dude.
Oh
listen,
my God,
they're so soft that they have no idea. None.
It's bad. It's so bad.
It really is, dude. That's why I stay on my son. But again, I'm the cool dad, so I'm like, yes, you want to play PlayStation, Oculus, whatever, dude. You can do it. You're limited on the time. And then we're going to fire up this dirt bike, or we're going to jump on the 51 and go ride. And we're gonna go outside and do something, right? I'm a big we love swimming, so we go down to the creek and jump in the creek and fish. And
oh yeah, I'm not a pool guy. I mean, I'll go in a pool, but I'm like a lake, river, quarry, ocean guy. I like natural. You know what I mean? Over a pool any day. Like back here with the quarries, like rope swings. We used to jump off the cliffs, and But I love. We have a beautiful river here. I love the river. It's gorgeous, man. So go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I got a creek. Literally, my son's best friend lives like 7 houses down, bottom of the hill, and I'm Dustin. Big shout out to Dustin. He's a good buddy of mine too, obviously. But dude, we have a natural creek right there. It's called Tinker Creek, and I go down there. I'm big into ice baths, so I go down there. Like, it's cold here. It's only like what is it? It's 45 degrees. I'll go down there and throw my bathing suit and jump in the creek. And
nice.
Like a little ice bath,
that makes your capillaries enlarge and blood flow, right?
Yeah, man, it helps out with a lot of stuff, dude. Stress, anxiety, freaking your wrist hurts, dude. You got sore muscles. It's good for muscle recovery. Fatigue. Dude, in the morning time, you get up, jump in the shower for a couple minutes, cold as you could take it. Your ass will get up, wake up real quick, and be energized, right? So there's a lot of health benefits to it. To me, it's more of a, since I've been doing it so long for the past like almost 3 years, it's a therapeutic thing for me. I get in it, I get to control my breath. I'm not cold anymore. It's like throwing my leg over a motorcycle. It's like my mind is completely free of any thoughts. It's absolutely amazing, man.
You know, I'm sure, and I've never done it that cold. I've gone in cold water before, but it's got to be. You have to have some level of mind control there too, because when you jump in cold water, like your lungs, you want to stop breathing. You've got to have some mind control with your body also. You know, I get it.
The breathing's the biggest part of it too, man. Is that so? I do the whole Wim Hof method, right? So I'm big into Wim Hof, the Iceman. If you guys hadn't heard, dude, check him out. It's absolutely amazing. I
know who he is.
Yeah, so there's this guy out here that I knew from high school, man, that actually is real big in the program. And he's the one that introduced me to it and really got me into the whole ice bath thing and the breathing and, yoga and stuff like that. So I'm big into, stretching out in the morning before I go to work. And, just I feel like the younger I get, Dave, the more active I am in the morning, the better off I am during the day and the better I feel.
Gotta move.
If that makes sense. Gotta keep it moving, man.
Yep. I'm a little older than you, but when I notice when it goes fast, dude, enjoy your life,
dude.
Enjoy your life,
bro. We have one more legend just popped up in, man, and a good friend of mine, Brian Stokes, bro. What is up?
What's up, dude? Brian? How you doing, man?
Yeah, David freaking Loikits. Hope you are doing well, my friend.
How you doing, Brian? He's a good dude. He used to come down to Summit.
Dude, I met him. I ran into him at Road Atlanta for Moto America last year. I was hanging out with my good buddy Dustin Cornier. You guys know who he is. He has a podcast, and I was sitting there, me and him running our mouth. And dude, next thing I know, Brian, I didn't realize he was as tall as he was. He's taller than I envisioned Brian was. Even though I met him way back in the day, I was a friend. I actually got a picture of me and Brian that I've been trying to find. I got so many pictures; they're scattered everywhere, but. Yeah, it's good. It's good to finally meet you, Brian. Can't wait to get you back on the pod.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Southern boy.
Fast too, boy. He was I like
I had
this
some,
style
I had
back in
some
the
good,
day.
I had some good races. I think I remember I beat Brian in the rain. I think I beat him in the rain one time at Summit. I remember. Yeah, I don't know if he remembers that one or not, but yeah, and that was like a milestone in my because Stokesy, man.
Right. That's what I'm
Scotty
saying.
Scotty Harwell, Stokes,
Yep.
Bemis Durfer.
Yep, dude. Tim, bro, are you
Yep.
kidding me? Yeah,
I
dude.
I
Beast.
I was able to pull a win off on him one time at Summit, and I remember he was so pissed off. This I got a story. Yeah, so that was after I bought Vincent Haskovic won Daytona on the Super Stock race.
Yep.
Well, I bought that bike from John and Chris.
The Valvoline.
It wasn't a Valvoline bike. It was an M4. It was an M4 bike. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was M4 MGO. But I had this hot bike, and the following year at Summit, and I remember Timmy. I beat him. We went down. He was so pissed off, and I love Timmy. He's a great dude. I remember going down pit lane on the cool off lap, and he puts his visor up, and he goes, "That's the last time that's gonna happen." I was like, "Oh shit." Anyway, yeah, I'll never forget it. Fucking Timmy.
Oh my god, dude, I love it, dude. And you know what though? After that though, when you guys come in the pits and the bikes are up on the stands and the leathers come off, it's
Yeah.
beer 30 and laughs and the shit talking begins, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing like it, man. So
yeah, good dudes, all top tier people, man.
Absolute legend, and an honor to be friends with every single one of them.
Oh my god, yeah.
So
Chris Cruzel, so he does all my he does all that stuff, man. It's beautiful, right?
Yes.
So this is the undertale.
I love it, dude. Look at that, dripping wet, baby. Let's go. It's beautiful. Love it, dude.
Yeah, Cruzel. He lives like 40 minutes from me.
Does he really?
Yeah. So yeah, good friend of mine, and yep, good dude.
Yeah, yes, he is. He says, "Sup, Dave?"
Takes care of the program.
Oh, dude, I love running into him here often. Last year, we ran into each other at several tracks, and it's always hugs and smiles and good conversations, man. Yeah, he's an absolute legend at what he does for sure. So let's take it back, man. You know, from the dirt bikes, man. Where did the road racing scene start for you?
So I remember 1980. I started looking at Cycle World magazines, and
back when they were like this big.
Right on. Well, that was the Road Racing World. That was Road Racing
World. Right. Yeah, yep. You're right. Sorry.
So Cycle World, the GSXR, the 88 Slingshot GSXR 750 was coming out, and I mean, when you're a kid, these bikes were just sex on wheels. They looked like they were going they looked like they're going 150 miles an hour just standing still. So I remember I was going to go to the local shop, and I said to my buddy had a 86 GSXR 1100 with Mikuni flat slides on it, Yosh cams, all that stuff. Anyway, I said, I want to go test ride a FCR 600 out. And his name was John Hart, right? So he goes, "No, you're not." And I'm like, I paused for a second. He throws me the key to his 1100. I took it for a rip. And I was a motocross guy. I rode street bikes, counter steering and all that, but I rode it good. And this thing was just brop. It was nasty, right? So I came back, took it out for like an hour, flat slides, GSXR 1100, just like iconic motorcycle, right? So I brought it back, and I remember seeing the Cycle World magazine. The GSXR 750 was coming out, and this thing was like a leap in the technology compared to all the other bikes. So I went and I couldn't. They were all sold out everywhere, and I went down to Montgomeryville Cycle, and they were able to find one for me. Other dealers went. They kind of sell each other bikes. They were all sold out, and I got this 750, and I remember just total dick on the streets, total dick. You know how it goes.
I do,
dude.
I do.
Yeah. Anyway, ripping around wheelies,
dude, running from the police. Dude, I used to run from the police here in Bytown County so much they used to get a search warrant to come to my house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, demanding that they got to open up the garage to see if one, I'm home, and 2, if my bike is cold or hot, because they knew I was running from them. Right? They wanted to catch me so bad, dude. I should be dead 1,000,000 times over from the dumb shit I did on the street, dude.
Yeah. Same thing as my dad and my uncle. It was a regular thing. Let's have the contest between the police force and I. Anyway, I'd always head for the highway, and I'd one, yeah, I can't say it on here, but
My trick was to hide, dude.
Jesus
I used to
Christ.
hide. I used to pull off in the bushes and trees and thickets and just hide, dude, and let them go by, and then
Yeah.
come out, and they would turn around, and I'd be on one wheel, flipping them off, going the opposite direction, dude. It was, bro, they hated me.
Well,
They hated me.
well, when you have motocross experience, and I got pretty good on the street. I figured it out pretty quick from the motocross experience, and most of the time when they chase guys, most guys fall off and they crash on, and it sucks that people get hurt and messed up, but they didn't realize that I had some skill anyway. Yeah. So it was entertaining,
It
but
was. I often apologize to my dad, Dave, to this day. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't realize the hell I put you through. He's like, dude, you was a fucking heathen on that thing in high school. Like, dude, you was it fast forward. So when I
yeah.
moved back from Phoenix, me and my dad went riding. We're in Roanoke, Virginia. So we got Blue Ridge, mountains, dude. It's beautiful out here. So we go off on this road and I'm waiting at the end for I forget how long. My dad pulls up and I'll never forget the first thing he does. He pulls his visor up. He's like, I never realized how fast you rode on the street. I seen you for the first 3 corners. I was doing 90 and you was just fucking gone, like gone, right? He's like,
Yeah.
if your mother knew this, she wouldn't kill you. She would fucking murder me. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dude, it's good. I got this, dad. He's like, bro, fucking slow down. What are you fucking kidding me right now? I was like,
We used to go up to Wilkes-Barre and like two or three in the morning, 5, 6 guys, and you know how these things are like they're so when you're full pipe, you can hear it coming for miles, right? So
yes.
knock on wood, we would be going 130 miles an hour at night with the woods like 10 feet off the. I'm talking deer. Thank God. I mean, total nitwit. Thank God I never ate it with a deer. I mean, there were so many opportunities where but when it's just
I
and
got
then
hit by a deer on a bike. Me and my wife had my first Ducati 748 was on Blue Ridge Parkway, go meet up with a couple of my buddies. And I know the road, been on it 50 billion times, but there's this
right.
particular section, and I love this section of this road, right? So I just remember glancing down. I'm like 70 miles an hour. My wife on the back, well, girlfriend at the time, is comfortable. And there's this one right hand blind corner, and you can't even begin to see the first 5 feet into the corner. So there I am, banked it in, full lean, deer, right dead smack in the middle of the fucking road, right? So I
Oh
was
wow.
like, I'm not grabbing my brakes because I already know what's going to happen then, right? So it was either sit it up or I just leaned it over more and just gave it gas. And as soon as I went up underneath it, he turned around and just went, hit me, broke my clutch lever clean off, my turn signal, cracked the front fairing, broke the rear turn signal on. I had a big uh, bruise on the side
Right.
where it
Right.
had like wrapped around and kicked me in my side. Saved it, kept it
Yeah.
up. I just remember I went to go grab the clutch and I was like, oh shit, I ain't got no clutch. So I just ripped up my visor and I was like, hey, hold on tight. I'm gonna kill the power on this and it's gonna be like
Yeah.
so yeah, it was but one time and only, but it scared the shit out of me. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. For
Yeah.
real.
So just like you were saying there with that, I had the unfortunate experience of had some friends, crash and stuff like that, and dude, the noise a guy makes when he's really really injured,
Oh,
that oh man, I got tired of hearing that, and
yeah.
so anyway, so long story short is ripped around on the streets, and then I was able to get a hold of a GSXR 1100 and 9091, right? Took the motor out of that and made a 711. Whole, whole nother thing, man. Whole nother thing. So yeah. So I ripped around on the street in that because the 88 slingshot that's this real small frame. That's the shorter. It's 1 inch shorter, and it was just like a razor. It was just like with this 1100. So anyway, this 1100 I have now, this 711 I have now, the bodywork's not on it now, but it's beautiful. Everything's titanium. I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah,
But
dude. That's your baby.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
the bike I grew up on.
love it,
So
man.
I took so anyway, a buddy of mine said let's go up to the Penguin road racing school up in Loudon. So we went up 6 hours up there, and I got my sat through the class. I think Jerry Wood, if I remember, Jerry Wood was still teaching that, and Eric and Jeff were probably really young yet. It was 91. So so I got my WERA license and my CCS license, and I raced like Nelson Ledges. I raced Summit Point. I raced Daytona. Just like I was probably maybe as an amateur, maybe top 10, top 8, top 10 around there. And then I stopped, and then I got back into motocross, and then that's when I started doing nationals from like 90, 93, 94, 95, 96. I got my pro license in 96. So then I stopped that. So in the meantime, I worked for my father. My grandfather Loikits had in 1939. He started a oil company, a coal and Loikits Oil and Heating Company. So my grandfather Loikits, Julius, he started a coal and home heating oil company. It was basically like a one-man show. He would deliver, he had a small truck, and he'd deliver locally. And then I was living in Michigan. I moved out to Michigan with my mom for about a year, and I went to like a community college out there. And but then it wasn't very exciting. Anyway, so I moved back. My dad calls me. He goes, "Hey, come on back. I'm going to buy the company from your grandfather." And I worked for my dad for like 13 years. I helped him grow his business. And then I left his business. I left him, and then I started my own deal in around 2002. Because when you want to go racing, man, you got to have time to do it. And my dad just wasn't digging it, you know. So we would butt heads all the time. So I went and did my own thing. But so anyway, 2001, I bought the GSXR 1000. That was the first GSXR 1000. And I turned that into a street bike in 2000. I turned it into a road race bike in 2002, and then I road raced it a little bit in 2003. I was an amateur in 2003, and I did had like a couple seconds, couple thirds, couple fourths, like that. Pocono Raceway race there. And then, do you remember Henry DeGale in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was an amateur in 2003 at VIR. And that was when it was Formula USA, when Kevin Elliott, it was Formula USA, and it was a qualifying for the Superstock. And I lost concentration. You know, the front kink, it has a slight right to it. And I was out towards the edge. I rode at 160 miles, 160, whatever. I rode off the damn track into the grass. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm in the grass, and I'm going 160 miles an hour. So the tire wall's coming at me. There's a tire wall maybe about a quarter mile down, and so I'm still doing about 150, and I got to get off this thing. So I just stabbed the rear brake, and I low sided the thing, and the bike went about 20 feet in the air. And you know the sound it makes when they tease.
Money. That's what it sounds like. Cha-ching, cha-ching,
like
cha-ching.
It sounds like money. So I slide. I'm sliding on my ass and my back, and I finally come to a stop. And unbeknownst to me, this guy that crashed in turn one, he crashed in turn one at the VIR also, and he saw the whole thing, right? So crash truck brings me back, bike's destroyed, right? I mean, it's destroyed. The tank, the swing arm, the wheels are bent. So this dude comes over to me. He goes, "Hey man, I saw that crash. I was standing in turn one." I was like, "Whoa." He goes, "When you popped up," because he said I popped up, I was like, "I'm all right." Anyway, he introduces himself. His name's William Myers, good friend of mine. He's from Florida, and he was racing amateur. He had I think he had his like a ZX6 back then. Either that or a 750. I'm not sure. Anyway, long story short, he said he crashed in that turn at turn one, and he fucked up his helmet. So he needed a helmet to race for the rest of the weekend. And I said, "Dude, my bike's destroyed." So my helmet was like brand new. I loaned him a helmet. Anyway, lifelong friend, William Myers. He was a crew chief for PJ. Later on in life, he was a crew chief for PJ Jacobson, for Michael Lafferty, for Rispoli. So destroyed the bike. So he raced in Florida. And Henry DeGale, they were real close. They were like he took care of his Florida riders. So the following year, I was going to turn expert, and William was going to turn expert. And do you remember Rick Shaw, Daytona? He was killed.
Yep.
Well, Rick Shaw's nephew Brian, they raced Florida also, and I'm going somewhere with this. So in order to race AMA, you had to race as an expert for 1 year, and then the club, like say Kevin Elliott, would sign you off so you could race in AMA. So anyway, Henry DeGao signed them off so they could race AMA the Super Stock Series the following year. They had a pass right into right. So anyway, I wanted to race the AMA and the Super Stock, and Kevin wouldn't sign off. He wanted me to race a full season as an expert before he'd sign off. So I'd have to wait till another year. So anyway, my first race in March at Daytona, I was fortunate enough to finish third. My first race, it was like the GTO race. I finished third on the podium behind Larry Pegram.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
So I go up to race control, and Kevin's there. I'm like, dude, can you effing sign me off now? He goes, yeah, I'll sign you off. So it was cool the following weekend because CCS was always the week before AMA Superbike. So the following weekend, I raced Superstock with my buddies from Florida, with William and Brian Shaw. So anyway, so I got my pro license in 2004. Okay. I raced a couple. I raced what did I race? I raced Daytona. I raced VIR and on my 01 1000, and the bike was heavy. I mean, even though it was a good bike, it was heavy. So in 2005, the following season, I had that 01 GSXR 1000 at Road Atlanta, right? And Vincent had just won Daytona, the opening round in March. And this Road Atlanta was probably, it might have been like the second or third round after that. And I remember these 05s came out, right? And they were like a scalpel, and they were fast. They had the real big fat tail section.
Yeah.
They were, I remember they were smoking me everywhere, right? So Barney, when Vincent got paralyzed, Barney took over for Vincent. So I knew Mike from CCS and Formula USA. So Mike says to me, he goes, "Hey dude," he goes, "Hey, I was out there in practice with you. I saw you're struggling on that whole bike, man." He goes, "These bikes are going to be up for sale at the end of the season." He goes, "Up," and I didn't know John and Chris then. So Barney takes me over to John and Chris at the trailer, and he introduced me to John and Chris, and I hit it off right away with John. I'm fortunate to have a really nice relationship with John all these years, So made a deal, and I bought Vincent's bike. I still have it. It's sitting right here. Yeah. So I bought it, and immediately started doing it changed my whole program, dude. Yeah. So that was really, really cool. And then I did the East Coast rounds, like VIR, Road Atlanta, Mid Ohio, that stuff, and Super Stock. Best finish I ever did was a 12th at Daytona, and that was when it was Aaron Yates, Jamie Hacking, Ben Spees. The first 10 were factory. It was wild. So yeah,
back in the golden days of racing.
Yeah, wild, man, wild.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. So I have a question, man. Your first experience at Daytona 200, what was that like on the banking, dude? That was absolutely. So I asked my buddy Gary Johnson the same question of, the Isle of Man TT legend. Seen him at in March, and of course at Azra in October. I was like, "What do you think about the banking?" He's like, "What banking? I don't think about that. Like, it's not even on my radar." And I was like, "I bet not. You're a TT legend, right?"
Yeah.
Like, but tell us your experience, man. The first time at Daytona.
The first time I was at Daytona was 80. Oh, the first time I raced Daytona was 91. And I went out in the I think it was a Wera had it then. No, wait a minute. It was CCS. I'm sorry. It was CCS. It was wild because you're like, holy shit. And you have to go fast. You have to, you have to go fast or it doesn't work. But yeah, I got used to it real quick because I love fast, same as motocross tracks. I love really fast, wide open, like Unadilla, Binghamton, real fast, wide open on the main jet kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. The first time I went to Daytona, dude, was with Mike Scott, Ty's dad, right? 1989. He raced Camel Pro dirt track, and then he started road racing, right? So he had an FCR 600, and we all, it was Mike and I and four other guys. There were six of us in this 40 Econo line van, and we all went down, and I helped him at the track. And in the 600 Super Sport race, he finished 16th, I think it was 16th they finished in that race. But I remember Kosinski, that was the year Rob Muzzy hired Kosinski to ride. I remember Mike was telling me Kosinski would go by him on the bank end and he'd throw him the finger.
I love it.
So do you remember Jim Allen from Dunlop?
Yeah.
All right. So I go to Jim. My girlfriend's going to laugh because she always gets pissed off when I say I have to have 2 of everything.
You sound like me. I need 2 of everything. Yeah.
I have to have 2 of everything.
Got to.
So I wanted this Dunlop hat. Remember the Dunlop's hat? They're always on TV. So I wanted a Dunlop hat so bad. So I go over to Jim Allen and I go, Jim, I'm with Mike Scott, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I'd love a Dunlop hat, right? And I didn't know Jim. I just met him, right? So he hands me a hat, right? So dickhead me, I go, do you think I could have 2? He looks at me like fuck you. He took the hat. He took the one he just gave me. He took my hat and that was it and walked away.
You're like, hey man, where's my hat?
He thought, fuck you, man. Fuck you, kid.
You ain't getting a hat now, bitch.
So I was bummed out. So Mike Scott, if he's watching now, he's laughing his ass off, guaranteed, right? So Bill Himmelsbach was a good friend of mine. So I went to Bill and Bill talked to Jim Allen. He got me a hat.
That's hilarious.
So another story, Rob Muzzy, when I went down with Mike didn't have any. He had a FCR 600 that he built, right? But he didn't have any front or rear stands. So Rob Muzzy had all this the front and rear stands. So I go over and I give him. I think I gave him it was $400 for like front and rear stands. I remember Muzzy himself, right? I give Muzzy $400 cash, and he hands me it was $395. He hands me a nickel. I'll never forget it. Muzzy has his mustache, and he takes the nickel, and he was squeezing it, and he's laughing, and he drops it in my palm. Here's a nickel, kid. Here's a nickel.
I love it.
Just funny shit, man.
Dude, Rob with his crazy mustache. Nobody will ever forget that mustache he had.
Yeah. Good times, dude. That was that was when a couple years, I think, a year later, Jimmy Adamo was killed. Remember Jimmy Adamo?
I remember.
He had a brake issue.
Yeah.
But Mike Scott had this van. He had spare alternators, spare water pumps, spare belts. Because he traveled so much with the dirt track racing. I mean, if we broke down, he had spare everything, man. Battery, all kind of stuff. But yeah,
fully prepared.
So what else?
I remember meeting Mike Scott. Was earlier this year. Last year. Dude, absolutely amazing. I went up to him when he was standing there. I was like, Mike, I'm Simcoe. I had Tyler on my podcast. He's like, oh yeah, dude, blah, 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 blah. Dude, absolutely amazing. Can't wait to sit down with him.
Mike and
look, I'm gonna bring you in. If he's not listening to this, he'll hear it, but even if he does, but
yeah.
When I get him on, I'm gonna send you the invite so you could pop in and talk shit with him. Yeah, dude, for sure. It'd be fun.
We know each other since probably 1987, maybe. A long time, dude. Mike and Ty, he lives like 20 minutes from me. So Mike and I, we palled around. We have a lot of wild, stories that we can't talk about, but a lot of wilds. Yeah. Mikey Scott is brilliant as far as bike setup and behind the scenes, he does a lot and I as well, but when Mike and I love going to the track with Mike because we bounce ideas off each other. And Tyler, he's off doing something else. He most of the time he's not even aware of what. But we try to brainstorm for those tenths of a second, man. And yeah. Mikey's brilliant on motorcycles, man.
I love to see the team dynamics too with you and Tyler and the whole M4. I think it's absolutely amazing. Ty's a good buddy of mine, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, he's such a legend, so talented, and so fast, and so humble. One of the most humblest, I don't want to say kid, but young adult that I think there is in the paddock.
Yeah, he was homeschooled, and a big part of that is that he's hung around with adults most of his life, but yeah. Well, this is what I want to do. Let's do this. Let's keep going with this, and then I want the last segment. I want to talk about Tyler.
All right.
All right.
Yep. Perfect.
Because I'll talk about Tyler and the relationship with the team and how we got to be there and with Mike and I, and it's been really cool.
It's been a journey.
So what else?
You said AMA, you did that from 2004 to 2009?
2009. So got a story for you. When DMG took over Daytona Motorsports Group, it was 2009, and I raced the Superbike race. It wasn't super. It was Superbike at Daytona. My only race with DMG. So we're at the riders meeting, and they hired Colin Fraser.
I think so.
From Canada.
Right. Yeah, sounds right. Colin Fraser.
Colin Fraser from Canada.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're at the riders meeting, and Colin's he's there. He's up at the podium, and Matt Mladen is leaning up against the wall. John Ulrich was there. I know he was there, and I'm sure he knows the story. But he goes, "Listen, we're going to do things differently, and we are going to have. They always have the flagger down on the apron for the finish line. So Colin's telling everybody with an iron fist, right? He said, the flagger is going to be up where the NASCAR flagger is, about 20 feet on the right-hand side of the track, 20 feet up in the air. And basically there's some noise in the room and everyone's kind of like, whoa, 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 whoa. So anyway, he goes, and Colin, he goes like this. He goes, damn it. He goes, this is how we're going to do it. He grabs his collar and he's all getting huffy, right? So Matt Mladen, I remember he had his foot up against the wall. He's leaning against the wall. He goes, listen, mate. He goes, we're going 200 miles an hour. Our heads bouncing around off the fuel tank. We can't look up and see the fucking flag. And Fraser it was bad, dude. So anyway, as it stood, when we left that riders meeting, everyone was like, oh, this is how they're going to do things now. Like they didn't want to hear anything. They didn't want to hear anything from any of the riders. So come qualifying happens, come the race, they have cameras on all the positions, right? I was probably maybe fifth or sixth row. You go to you bring you put the bike in gear, you're bringing the R's up. And what they did, and I think Chris Ulrich got nicked also, they nailed me. They nailed about 12 other guys for a jump start. And let me say this, we didn't jump start. When you put the bike in gear, the chain goes like that. The dickheads, they DQ'd like 12 of us. For putting the bike, because the chain had a little excessive more. Oh, dude, yeah,
bro,
yeah, that was the DMG. That was the DMG, and as you know, it was bullshit. They didn't last long,
It was a rough time period in the history of road racing here in America. 110%. I remember. Yeah. I was like, I was actually scared, thinking that this might be it. Like, if this continues, nobody's going to show. No factory, dude. There was hardly any factories in it then, right? Yeah. They all started to drop out by then, especially after that year. Yeah, it was rough. I remember, hearing a lot of a chatter of.
Yeah, it was absolutely absurd. They nicked about 12 guys out of the race for basically putting the bike in gear. I'm like, I didn't jump.
What do you think happens when you put the bike in gear? The chain's gonna do what it does. Right?
I remember that's what one of the stewards told me. Like, your chain really, really jumped excess. I'm like, what? Like, yeah.
What are you talking about?
So that's how it's gonna be. So that was my last year. That was my last race. I was so disgusted. I went back to club racing and I had a ball.
Going back to the grassroots.
Yeah, I had a ball. Absolute ball. Yeah. So what else? I build my own motors. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. So go ahead.
Mike Scott and I talked about, like, at the level of some riders, he feels that some riders you don't want to know what's going up and down and round and round in there, because it's so much. You do the math. This thing spins at 14. I have it set at 14.5 for the soft limiter, right? At 14,000 RPMs, the crankshaft with 4 pistons and rods, 233 times a second spins.
It's insane. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's insane.
233 times a second.
That's
insane. And when you leave the chicane to when you get off the throttle at Daytona, it's 24 seconds at full throttle.
It's the only track in the world you're at. Well, not the only track in the world, the only track in America.
Yeah.
You're at that wide open for that period of time, which is absolutely insane.
It's insane, man. Yeah.
I love it, man.
In Daytona, it's getting bumpy again. So the bike loads, and you're on the side of the tire, right? The bike loads and unloads off the bumps. It loads. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It is so effing sketchy, dude. I mean, the bumpier it gets, because I think they repaved it in. Well, it has to be like about 12 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I was
since they repaved it.
Years or something.
And when they paved it, it was boring as hell because it was just so smooth. But now, dude, it's quite lively. Yeah.
I could only imagine.
Quite lively.
You can hear it too.
Dude, the chassis.
You can hear it when you guys are
the chassis
there.
All strung out. The front wheel, it's just trying to twist itself. It is
tie itself in knots, and you just along for the ride. Yeah,
good shit, man. Yeah,
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'll tell you what, dude. Throughout the years, I had a couple of chains when I was drafting bikes. I had a couple throughout the years. I had a couple of chains fly over my shoulder.
Bro, that's sketch.
Yeah, they'll tear your head off.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, I was gonna say, chop your head off, dude. Be decapitated at the banking. Yeah.
I had probably two in my whole 20-some years of racing. I had, when I was following somebody, their chains came off and went over my shoulder. Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
I had one incident on the track where a guy's chain came off and put a hole in my radiator, busted up my fairing, and wasn't good. But sketchy at the same time. Like, I couldn't imagine a Daytona, man, chain go by your head at mock bejesus on the baking. Yeah, I'd have shit myself. I ain't gonna lie.
Dude, let's talk about the legendary Lloyd Bailey.
Bro, dude, listen, Lloyd, I had the honor to meet him once. This was before, obviously, the whole podcast thing. I learned a lot about him from Gil from K-Tech when I had him on. He talked a lot about
Gil was his right-hand man, dude. For a lot of years.
Yeah, it was. So you tell us your stories about Lloyd, man.
So Lloyd, he's from New York. He moved down to Florida. But anyway, he would street race, right? He has videos on he had like an 01 GSXR 1000, and he had videos. What they would do, they would race like 10 miles at nighttime. So they would start on a highway. They would go 10 miles, well, actually like 20 miles. They'd go top speed, dude. They would have they would go down a highway, and then they would do a clover leaf. They would have to do a clover leaf, like he'd race another guy, right? And then back on the other lane. And I remember him showing me videos, dude. It was like your skin would crawl. And he got away, he got away with that for a couple years doing that. And then he started road racing. And then he and I had a lot of really, really good battles, like really good battles, right? But he did some wild shit on the street. So anyway, long story short, a lot of good battles, and he was a GSXR guy for a long time, and I think he had a Kawasaki, then he had a BMW. A lot of good shit. He raced AMA with me, super stock, and then dude, when he got killed, it was bad. I remember I was right here, and David Graham called me on the phone. It was down at Homestead in December, and I go, "Hey man, what's up?" He goes, "Hey," he was sobbing, He goes, Lloyd crashed. He's laying under the tire wall right now, and he's dead." I go, "What?" And he said he's dead, So anyway, I remember I dropped down on my knees. And I started bawling here, man. And he got killed, man. He got killed hard. It was bad. No one knows to this day. No one knows really what happened yet, because the fucking cops, they confiscated the bike for about a month. And Frank Angel?
I've heard of him, but I don't know him personally.
Frank, he was with CCS for a long time, and he did all the tech inspection for the Daytona 200 and everything. But anyway, we wanted to get the bike back, and immediately, and deconstruct there's master, kind of like when a plane crashes, deconstruct what happens here. And they kept the bike for like a month, so it got it got contaminated with cop stuff, So still don't know exactly what happened.
That's
Yeah.
I'll never forget the news when I heard it happened.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
it was the first time psychologically for me. It was the first time, like whenever someone gets killed, it's always some other guy, some amateur. It was the first time that it happened to one of us, like one of us, and that really freaked me out, man. That freaked me out.
How did you come over that mentally?
Going into this that, going into this. Yeah.
You already know. Yeah.
But
it's funny you say that, man, because I talk about that when I talk about people that race the TT, right? And they're like, oh, it's so dangerous. To me, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's my favorite race of all time, right? And I'm like, I hear what you're saying. They know the risk. It's just like skydiving or whatever it is. You know the risk going into it, but the people that do it, fuck the risk. I'm doing it because I love to do it. It makes me feel the most alive ever, right? And God forbid if it happens while I do it, I'd rather go out that way than any other way. Let's just be honest, right? It's the ones that they leave behind that we know the risk as X, Y, and Z is doing it, but we're never prepared when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyway, we flew down, Eric Helmbach and I, and we flew down, and I remember carrying him out of the damn hearse, dude. And it was surreal, but good friend of mine, but you're like, holy shit, is this happening right now?
This can't be real.
And Yvette, like, she remarried, and his wife remarried and went on, and he had 2 daughters, but miss him, man. He was a good dude.
Yeah, Gil says the same thing. I was fortunate to meet him once. I wish circumstances were different. I was doing this back then, so I could have sat down with him and had him on and talked to him. He was really cool. I'll never forget when I met him. It was honestly, dude, the main thing that I remember the one time that I met him was a super ball of energy. That was just a breath of fresh air. It was unique in its own way, and it was just absolutely amazing. So he was his right-hand man, and Gil, we were all there. The immediate gang was all there. Lloyd and Helmbach, they raced the team challenge for years back and forth with each other. So they had a lot of miles together also. And then, like I said, Gil, he was his right-hand man. So we had this thing called, I always said, I had this, if you knew Lloyd, it would be second call. Second call, his shock would be out on the floor. You're like, bro, you got like 5 minutes.
Dude, so we'd always say, we had this thing called fucking Lloyd. Fucking Lloyd. So I had T-shirts made. It was 26 on the sleeve, and then it said fucking Lloyd on the back, right? So we're all wearing this shirt. I forget. I think it was Daytona. I had them made over winter, and we're all wearing these shirts, and we're at the riders meeting. We're gonna mess with Lloyd. So when he saw the shirts, right? So we're all sitting in a row with all these shirts on, right? He doesn't go to the riders meeting. hence fucking Lloyd,
right?
Oh man,
good shit, dude.
Fucking
Lloyd, dude. That's talking about it brings up memories that you probably ain't thought about in a while.
So several years before that, he spun up out of the first horseshoe at Daytona, and he broke his femur. He high-sided broke his femur, and he caused a red flag. So I didn't know it, but I parked the bike, and my girlfriend at the time, she goes, Lloyd's laying on the track, and he's messed up. So I ran up and I hopped the fence, and they were just loading him in the ambulance, and his foot, his left foot was like that, and I was like, it was like that. It's right. I'm like, you got something broken in your leg, dude. So later on that day, we go to the hospital. And he was by himself because he still lived in New York. He didn't have any family down with him. So we kind of quarterbacked all the, we got his stuff loaded up, when someone gets hurt. So the doctor comes in at like 5 o'clock, and day's over, and I come in, and this was like a Friday, or I had to still race for a couple days yet, right? So the doctor's saying, "Listen, we gotta slice his leg open, and we gotta put a rasp, because when you break your femur, it breaks, and then it goes like that. It goes like that." So he goes, "We're gonna slice him. We're gonna slice him in the hip. We're gonna put a rasp in there." And he goes, "We're gonna take a hammer. We're gonna," and I'm going, la 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 la. I go, "Dude, I still have to race this." I had to walk out of the room. Like, fuck, I don't want to hear this.
I don't want to hear that shit. Yeah, right.
I had to walk out of the room. He start, yeah. I'll never forget it. But anyway, we got him through that. But yeah, he's missed, man.
Yeah, that's but that speaks volumes too about the beautiful circus is what I call it. That something like that happens. People are going to make sure they load your trailer up, and everything's going to get back to you and the way you left it. It's yeah, man. I wish big shout out to Lloyd, man. And it seems like we all the good ones go too soon.
Oh, dude, isn't that true? Isn't that true?
It is. It's a fact, dude. It's yeah, man. Yeah. So speaking of Lloyd, what was your best battle with Lloyd?
Probably for the 20. I battled with him in 2015 and 2019 for the ASRO Superstock Championship. The whole damn season, back and forth, man, back and forth. Just and I beat him, and I was fortunate. I was fortunate to come out with the silver cup, man. It was cool. We won it in 2015, 17, and 19, the ASRO Superstock Championship. But dude, have you ever had any big crashes?
Yeah, absolutely. My last major crash I had, I broke my knee.
Shit.
Where your knee goes like this, right? Your two, whatever, your femur and your tibia, and you got that joint in your kneecap on. I cracked my kneecap, and it pushed it to the side, so it tore one of the tendons too. And I had a slight hair flying fracture. I messed up my collarbone. I still got a bump right here to where it cracked, but not to where I had to be surgery or anything. I just had to wear this sling and blah blah tape and all this shit. It was that was the worst one I had. I was pretty fortunate that every time I went down, it was most of the time a low side at slower speeds. Never really anything at high speed. But I never really broke a whole bunch of shit. I did break my my right wrist, but my they called it a boxer break. I don't know how the frick. I just remember I got up and I went I felt this pain. I went like this, and my pinky finger was sitting out here like this, and I was like, "That ain't right." Yeah, that ain't right. Right? The dude's like, "Bro, are you okay?" I was like, "Hey, I don't think so." Right? It's not supposed to look like this. I mean, I've been fortunate. I've been knocked out several times.
Doesn't that suck? You see that flash of white light when you get your head? Poof! It's like a white light,
and then like
metallic taste.
Yeah, and they kind of say like stars, kind of sort of speak. It's just it's weird, and it happens so quick. And the funny thing is like you don't really remember what happened until a couple days later, and then you're like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just remember one time I had a headache for several days, and I couldn't shake. I couldn't shake like my vision.
Yeah.
Right. It was just it was odd. And you're right. The metallic taste. It's something you'll.
Yep.
It's like you're sucking on a battery kind of deal, right? It's weird.
I'm gonna tell you about the wildest non-crash I've ever had. This is probably about 5 years ago. It was a GTO race at Daytona, and Patricia Fernandez, right? I'm running around. I was running around second or third, and I overcooked turn one, and I lost like 5 spots. It was the beginning of the race, right? I lost like 5 spots, so now I'm back in like 8th, 9th, 10th around there. So the next 3 laps, I'm slowly catching up, and Patricia Fernandez was in front of me, and there's another guy in front of her, and I was gonna do a double draft coming off NASCAR 2 down the back straightaway, and I'm full tuck, just clicked 6th gear, and Patricia and this other guy when you're down in the tank, your head, your vision is all, you can't see. It's ridiculous.
It's nuts. Yeah.
Everything's shaking around. So I'm gonna do this double draft by both of them, and I'm gonna beat them to the chicane and grab another 2 spots, right? So I come down off the bowl, and right when I start when I pass both of them, there's another a rider, RJ Wade. It was his first time at Daytona. He was an amateur. He was going 50 mile an hour slower than we were, and I didn't see him, and I drilled him. I just when we came down off the bowl onto the straightaway, I drilled him with my left forearm. He told me it broke his clip-on off. So when I hit him 180 miles an hour, every bit of it, I just clicked 6th gear. I hit him so hard, right? It ripped my left hand and my left leg off the peg, and the bike was going. The front tire was going. It was the bar
lock, yeah,
and the tire was going. And dude, thank God I had reasonably strong abs, because I fell off. I started to fall off the bike. My left leg in my hand, and I held onto it, and I gave it throttle, and I was able to get back onto the bike, and I didn't fall off. He crashed. His bike slid the whole way down the back straightaway.
Holy shit!
Broke his collarbone. The whole bike was an R1. That sucked. That sucked,
bro.
Dude, I didn't see him. And Chris, I've got thousands of laps at Daytona, thousands of laps, and people go, dude, I'm like, dude, I didn't see him. When I came off the bowl, I was at an angle where Patricia and this other rider they were staggered in front of me, and when I got a run at them, right when I went by them, that's where RJ was. Dude, he ate shit. It was bad. Yeah, my whole arm was black and blue, and yeah, and the speed, the gyro is what kept me up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but yeah, sorry, RJ.
Yeah. Apologize. Yeah, that's dude. Another shit my pants moment on that.
180, dude, 180 miles an hour. Holy shit. Yeah.
Bro. You lucky you got the skills you did to stay on that, because
it was 50% luck too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, racing is right. Let's be honest. Racing is a lot of luck into it there too as well. Yeah, it's whew, man. So we did the whole DMG thing. Talk about go ahead.
So Mark Heckles.
You
know Mark?
I think I've met him before, but it's been a while.
From Liverpool, England, and he started racing CCS 10, 12 years ago. I can't remember exactly when. I helped him out for when he raced Moto America. Good dude.
Yep.
This hilarious guy. He races CCS, and fast guy, real fast guy. So anyway, Jimmy Fontopoulos, Eric Helmbach, Heckles, Ricky O'Hare. Yep. These are all the effing lunatics from CCS, dude. We have so much fun when we all get together. It's a lot of fun. These are all my really, really close friends. Helmbach and I go back a long way. We had a lot of battles, a lot of laughs. Yeah.
I remember.
Ricky.
I've talked to Ricky on social media several times. I invited him on the podcast. So Ricky, man, I'm still waiting for you to give me a day and time, bro, so we can make this happen, man. Let's go, right?
Yeah.
Ricky, dude, I was a fan of all you guys racing growing up, man. Watching, going to the track, a lot of club races, of course, AMA and DMG, and I remember Ricky O'Hare was just a lunatic on 2 wheels.
Oh yeah,
just
He's in he has some wave runners also. Dude, do you remember Sean Reese, Milf Hunter? Do you remember Milf Hunter?
The name, but I don't.
That was back in the day.
Yeah,
that was way back in the day.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Yeah, good story. Jeff Wood, Eric and Jeff Wood.
Yep.
So Jeff Wood, this had to be 15 years ago. We're at the ocean deck, and MILF Hunter, he was a porno. He's still Sean's still around. He had MILFHunter.com, right?
Yeah, love it.
So Corey West raced for him.
Yeah.
If Corey's out there, hey. So anyway, we're all at ocean deck, and MILF and Sean had this bodyguard, and this dude was like real rough looking guy. Like he looked like he was like a W like an MMA guy. Like he was really tough, right? And something happened. We're all partying, and John Hayner's there. I don't know, you remember John Hayner? Yep. He was the first one with his pants off all the time. Hayner's hilarious, dude. Anyway, first one with his pants off. So we're all partying, drinking shots. The whole gang's there. Barney was. I'm pretty sure Barney was there. Anyway, the bodyguard and Jeff, the bodyguard of Sean and Jeff Wood. Something happened where they were going to go at it. And I remember looking at Jeff Wood. This is just some stories from Yeah. I remember looking at Jeff Wood in his eyes, and I knew Jeff for a lot of years and raced with him. He was way faster than I was, right? But I never saw Jeff, like I'm talking like whoa. I took like a 15-foot step back because these two guys, they were gonna just wreck the place, man. And somehow it got diffused, man. But yeah, stories.
Yeah, stories, man. Dude, I love the old school stories, right? That's dude, the paddock's totally changed from back then.
Oh yeah.
It's nowhere near the same.
Not the same.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Got a Unadilla story back in the day. The United States Grand Prix. It's all up in upstate New York, right? And you drive to the left is the parking area. It's a hill where all the campers go. And this is back in the late 80s when it was wild. And to the right of the road is the track. Well, anyway, the year before they burned all the porta-johns because they're fiberglass. The campers, they set everything on fire, burned everything, right? So the next year they made these precast concrete bathrooms up on the hill. So the cops had these assault horses, huge horses, man. The New York State Police would ride around these giant horses, right? So they burned all the porta-johns the year before. So now this guy, it's probably like the GP was on a Sunday. So this was Saturday night. Shit got crazy, right? This guy's up on top of the concrete the bathroom with a sledgehammer. Couldn't burn it. You couldn't burn it. So this fucker had a sledgehammer. So everyone surrounds us. They're all laughing and drinking, and they go, "Hey, the cops are coming up the hill on the horses!" And the guy pauses, right? And what does he do? He starts swinging faster. He starts swinging. He didn't stop. He started swinging faster. These cops came up and they grabbed his ass, man, and they drug him down the hill. So they had down at the bottom of the hill, they had a trailer, like a job site trailer.
Yeah.
Well, they had a justice of the peace. So they would arrest you and fine you, and you'd go in one door and out the back door after you paid your fine, and then you go back and party again.
Dude, that's bro. Walk right out the back and pick up the sledgehammer again. All right, I'm going back to work, baby.
That's the era that I grew up in. It's like, oh man, Unadilla,
dude.
Yeah, a lot of wild times at Unadilla.
Yeah, I mean, it's nowhere near the same.
Mid Ohio used to be wild. Mid Ohio back in the camp. Oh, dude, it was wild. People running around with their clothes off. Yeah.
Nuts. That's my type of party right there. Yeah, absolutely my type of party. I went to Mid Ohio first time. First year they opened back up. Was it last year or the year before? The year before. That was my first time at Mid Ohio. But I heard it was wild back in the day.
Oh, crazy. There was thousands of people driving around with golf carts with deer heads on the front. Like it was just nuts,
what a cigarette in the mouth, right? Like,
yeah, might as well. Yeah, you know the deal. They would have a refrigerator. They have a generator. They'd have a sofa, a couch, a love seat, and a coffee table, and a refrigerator, and they'd basically simulate a living room, right there in the field. Nuts.
Love
nuts.
Dude, good times.
Yeah,
good times, right?
Yeah, fun, man. Yeah, the motocross stuff was just wild.
Let me ask you this, man. Racing back in the day, motocross, and then obviously getting into road racing back in the day, was there a major cost difference between the two?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
huge. Oh, huge. Depends what you want to do too. You can build a bike. You can build a bike and go road racing with some minimal stuff and a shitty paint job and minimal stuff. You can do it on a real budget. But as you climb the ladder, and you from in my thought process, I always loved to roll the most beautiful bike off the trailer. Just like beautifully prepared. I saw the saying years ago, and I stuck it on my refrigerator. Right, luck favors the well prepared. And dude, holy shit! Like I've been real fortunate to have a lot of detail on my preparation throughout the years. I've had very, very, very few DNFs. I mean, I could probably count them in 20 some years, Chris. I could probably count them on one hand. Like a clutch in a race went, or shit like that. But very, very, very few problems.
That's awesome.
Yep. And you know yourself, man. You see people at the track. They're there on a Friday or a Saturday morning, and they're on their knees drilling number plates, and they're drilling like, dude, they're changing oil. On a Saturday, like, yeah, come on, man. That's not, to me, that's not fun to go racing like that. That's not fun.
It's not. I've been there. I mean, when I first started, I was doing the same shit, right? I'll just do procrastinator, right? I'll just do it when I get there, blah, blah, blah. And then I can't do this because now I'm not having fun. It's taken away from what I need to do. And
right.
Yeah.
Right. It takes away from the experience. It's hard enough, it's hard enough to go to deal with, all the other the stress of everything and all that shit,
Yeah, 100%. And Chris even says you feel better when your bike looks factory.
There you go, buddy. 100%. There you go.
But back then, we didn't have anybody making graphics like Chris did or anything like that. It was spray paint. And
I gotta tell you, and he's probably the best in the country, Chris. Not probably. He's the best. He's the best guy in the country.
Love it.
He can look at stuff and he can make it. Yeah, I've been to his house a bunch, and he's got some beautiful machines, and he can just look at something and he has a really good vision.
Oh yeah. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I give him a shout out all the time. Dripping Wet Graphics.
I don't want to sound like I'm trying to rubber glove him or anything, but yeah, he's.
I need some new graphics there, Chris. Big plug.
He for real. He's the dude, and it's really cool that I live close to him.
Yeah, 110%, man. He says till 4 a.m. I bet.
Yeah, the first time 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, let's go back, man. Road racing, man.
So, do you remember the super in Motorcyclist magazine, the Super Bikes from Hell edition?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Nick Einosh would do that when he was editor of Motorcyclist. Anyway, so a guy named Chris Geider. Chris Geider lived like 20 minutes from me also, and he built several of those bikes in those magazines. So back in the 90s, the mid 90s, I became friends with Chris, and he, just like what we're talking about, building beautiful rocket ship, beautiful, like I never knew about titanium hardware and bolts and nuts and all this shit. Well, this guy Chris Geider, who was friends with Nick, who lived around me and had a shop called Profab, I became really good friends with him, and every Thursday we would have beers at his shop. Bob Robbins. Bob Robbins has a Britain. There's 10 Britons in the world.
Yes.
So Bob Robbins lives 20 minutes from me. So Bob Robbins would show up, and Fred Renz from Yo-Yo Dine. Yep. So we would have beers every Thursday at his shop. So Chris Geider, he went on and sold the shop in Pennsylvania here. I live in Allentown. I'm right between Philly and New York.
Okay.
So Chris worked for DynoJet for about maybe 12 years or so. He's doing something else now because they got away from motorcycles. They do more side by sides now. But there's in this whole area, I had the privilege of having access to Bill Himmelsbach. Mike Himmelsbach, who works for Olin's. Yep. Bill and I were good through Mike Scott, because I know all these guys since I'm a young kid. And dude, Bill helped me out with knowledge on a lot of stuff, man. So I'm grateful to have been the receptor of all these rock star people, man, that live by me, first and foremost, So yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Dude, you've had a proper mega ride in a journey, man. It's
yeah. Yeah.
And you don't realize it at the time, like I said, hanging out with these people, what legends they are until you get younger in life like we are now, and you're like, holy shit, dude, look at this. This is absolutely fucking insane, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How far are you from Karn's Performance in Pennsylvania?
He's in Harrisburg, which is about an hour. An hour. Yeah. I've never been to a shop.
Yeah, I went up there last year. That's where I bought my son's dirt bike from. I'm a big believer in keeping it in the industry and especially helping my friends out, right? So I could have bought the same dirt bike 10 minutes down the road, but I chose to drive 6 hours up the street to support my buddies, right? Like, that's what it's about. So, yeah, I went up there, hung out the day with Karn's Performance at the shop, and then stayed the night with my boy Mark Sherman from CFE, me, my dad, my son, and drove home the next day.
Do you know Colin Barton, Bartcon?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. When those guys
awesome. He's awesome.
I just looked over. I wrote some notes down for some key points. Yeah. There's so much stuff.
There's so much to talk. I know. So, don't worry, Dave. We'll definitely sit down and do a part 2 for sure.
All right. So
100%.
So BartCon, when they were there, when you were wrenching all day or you're at the track, you could go there, and BartCon and Uncle Pete, you could go there at the end of the night, and we're talking pants down around your ankles, crying, laughing. You could go there because Moto America, the paddock's really dry at night, right? So you could always go there. They're Irish, crazy, but rock star solid, right? They are. You guys, those guys, I miss them so much because you could unwind. I'm talking crying, laughing, dude. On your yeah. So there, I wrote those guys down.
I hung out with him, Bazooka Joe.
Lemandry, great.
Yeah, Lemandry's a dude. He's absolutely amazing. At Jersey at the end of the year. I forget the other guy's name we were sitting there talking with. Oh my God, dude. Anthony Corbo.
Oh yeah, he's a riot.
Yep. So we was all sitting around there. It was him and Colin, DeMario, Bazooka Joe and Bazooka Joe's girlfriend, if they're still dating. She's a flat track racer. I forget her name. Yeah, I forget her name. But yeah, they always make me cry. Like they helped my buddy, Matthew Chapin and them out back in the day, dude. Eli Colby, they're absolutely amazing humans, man. Love to see them.
Yep.
Always laughs for sure. Matter of fact, quick story was there. I had just left from Colin and them. My boy Casey Davis and Ryder, literally like three I want to say tents, but three trailers up on the left, and then right across was Avery, Dreyer, and Ella. So Ryder comes up to me, he's like, "Hey man, you ever done a TINS unit?" Right? You know, the TINS units on your muscles.
Yeah,
I was like, absolutely. He's like, "I bet you can't do it on level 10." I was like, "All right, let's go here. Here we go." So we get down in the chair. Right. So I sit down in the chair, and Avery comes over there, and my arms going like this because of the strength of the TINS. Anyway, dude, it was a whole fiasco. I ended up recording. It was absolutely a lot of laughs, dude. Those are the times that I cherish the most because it's at nighttime. Everybody's kind of unwound. They're trying to relax and just have a good time versus just being so stressed out with the racing and the problems.
Oh man, you need it. You need it, dude. You need it.
Yes.
Just So they are missed. And Mike Skronik, he ran the pit and was a mechanic. Did a great job with Dominic Doyle. They're missed, man. They're missed. Shit, man. Yep.
100%. Dominic's another one. Dominic Doyle's a freaking.
Dominic's a good dude. I like Dominic.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
100%. He's going to be R9 next year because he was doing it at October at Azra.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, It's going to be good, man.
How about that R9? I saw last year they had they had access to like several different swing arms, and this year I saw in the bulletin that they have to run a stock swing arm now.
Yeah. I think it's I like it. I think it's good to have something different between the R6. I think the R6 obviously is one of the most dominant bike. I mean, when that bike come out in 1999, bro, power to weight ratio for a 600 was it was like the CBR 900R when it broke over. It was just ridiculous, right? So from that platform, they've pretty much been dominating. Let's just be honest, throughout the world, the R6 has. To see him get away from that, come out with a triple, like a Triumph, right? And then not only that, come out winning. And World Super Sport, and then of course with Matty Skoltz for the past 2 years and Blake Davis. Yeah, I mean,
I've always likened the R6 to it's a scalpel. As far as the chassis, it's a scalpel. But I will tell you this: you can run a GSXR 750 for probably a whole season and not rebuild it. To run at the front in Moto America for an R6, you've got to freshen it up probably at the very least 2 times.
And that's $10,000 each time.
Probably more. Yeah.
I was going to say, or more, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I had a conversation with a buddy of mine, and he was like, dude, if I was to do 600 Super Sport in Moto America, best bang for the buck, I was like, Chick 750. Simple answer.
Yeah.
Chick 750. Yep. Best bang for the buck.
We got our chassis handling really good, and this is our year, man. This is we had 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th year on the bike.
Yep.
So this is the year. Matt has gone to Superbike.
Yep, Skoltzy's on Superbike with Strack. You got
PJ has gone to Superbike.
PJ's at Superbike. You're right. We got Heron back with on a 600. Yeah, in Super Sport with the Ducati with Ray Hall. We got DeMario, Ray Hall. We got of course Blake Davis back on the R9. I'm trying to remember who Davis's teammate's going to be. Is it Darren Bender?
I don't know. Wait a minute. What did I see? Is it Bender? I mean,
it might be.
Kayla is flying,
dude. Kayla
is fucking flying, dude. She impressed the hell out of me.
She is funny story. My son makes butterfly Legos knives. Right here's one of them. He makes all these butterfly knives out of Legos. And when I had Kayla on the podcast, he busted in here with a butterfly knife. She's like, I want one of those. So he made her one, and I gave it to her at Road Atlanta last year at 25. And I seen her after the autograph session. She comes up to me. She's like, man, I wish you'd have gave me this at the end of the weekend, because I'm sitting there during the autograph session playing with this Lego butterfly knife versus signing autographs. I was like, how awesome is that, right? Yeah, she's dude, her and her dad Dave are absolutely amazing. And she once, I don't believe she hit her stride yet. I think obviously she's still working it and figuring out. I think once she does, it's going to be
she has a lot of like people don't know this, but she has a lot of laps overseas, man. A lot of laps in the rain. She's brilliant in the rain. So yeah, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. We have to have our shit. We have to have our shit ready to go off the trailer. I mean, every round we have to have it ready off the trailer, because there's only so much time to get it right. And if you don't get it right, you're swimming uphill.
You're on the back foot for the rest of the season. You're trying to play catch up, right?
You're swimming uphill,
So tell us about the whole, you and Tyler Scott and M4 and Tim Hammer.
All right. So I know Chris and John, and since 04, good people, good friends of mine. Yep. I'm very, very fortunate. John's like the Godfather.
He is the Godfather. It's a perfect name for him.
He's in my head. He's the Godfather. He's and yeah. So anyway, we went racing. Tyler, Mike Scott had he's since sold Scott Power Sports. He's retired now, but when in 2021 we got a KTM, and we got the race kit, which is homologated.
RC 390. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Came with a pipe and all the cool shit. And Ben Glotty was our main challenge in 21. And just Mike and Ty and I. Ty was like shit. He was 14 or 15?
Yeah, I was gonna say 14, 15. Had to have been for the age class.
Yeah. And we went in the RV and a little double axle trailer. It's fucking great, man. And we traveled the whole country and we pulled out a junior cup championship, dude. It was cool. So just about every round after the weekend was over, when our team M4 travels, we've got the main tractor trailer with the red tractor trailer, and then John and Chris stay in the black RV. Okay, so after every round, I would take Tyler. I'd say, get on the scooter, and I'm going to take you over to this guy. Right? So I'd call John or I'd call him, prior and say, hey, we're coming over, and I'd knock on a door and I'd take him over to John. And John, of course, John sees everything, as he should. He's the editor of the magazine. But Ty was on John's radar, obviously, because he did well, and Ty rides with a lot of heart. He rides and he's strong. So anyway, at the end of the season, we had a meeting, and we all had a meeting, and John and Chris were interested in having Ty ride for them in 2022. So we had a meeting, and we talked about it, and that's what happened. Signed a contract, and yeah. And what's cool about the M4 team, we all love it. I mean, of course, all the other teams love it too, but these guys, it's a super family atmosphere, right? And I know these guys for many, many years. So I was able to help Tyler get his career started with M4, and it's been really, really cool to watch. Of course, you got to understand too. Like, I watched PJ. I know PJ since he's a little kid too. Like, all these kids, and I'm getting older now, and I've had this great time road racing and my whole thing that we just talked about for the last almost 2 hours. It is such a effing thrill for me to watch these little fucking kids, man, come up and they're right, to watch them do this and I watched them on the interviews, and when they first started getting interviewed, like, you're just a dumb kid,
saying whatever, right? Yeah,
saying whatever, and of course, right, and now I watch him and he's polished. It is such a thrill for me, to watch Ty, especially to watch him do what he does. Another thing, we're driving home. Mike and I were driving home, and I think it was 2020. Dude, look! I want to show you this. Look at this. Look at that shit, man.
Love it, dude. Legend.
He wants to tear the fucking throat out of that bike.
Dude, I love it, man. I love Ty Scott, dude. He is.
Dude, we're driving home. We're driving home from Road Atlanta in 2021, and Brian Nelson. Brian Nelson takes all the pictures, and I'm on Brian's website.
I'm listening.
Nice.
So my buddy Dustin that worked for you guys, dude, had this hat done for me.
Yep.
On
Dustin.
The back of it,
Dustin's the man.
Yep.
So we're driving home, and we're about 3 hours from home, and I'm looking online on Brian Nelson's shots, right? And every picture of Ty, like, I'm gonna put, if I look at 50 pictures of me, maybe 30 of them, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it, right? And I said to Mike's driving, I go, dude, how the fuck does he look like a hero pick? I'm looking at these pictures, and I'm like, dude, how is every, like, I'm starting to get envious, right? Like, how is every pick that he's in? And Mikey goes, dude, he's driving, right? He goes, dude, since he's 3, he's been at a racetrack every weekend of his life. So and then it's like a knock on the head. Like, yeah, that's why you can rarely find a picture of Ty doing it wrong. You know what I mean? And a picture's worth,
Thousand words.
when you see a picture, and dude, every pick he is just getting it. He's getting it. Yeah, it's really, really, it's awesome, dude. Awesome.
He is.
And as a racer, I know to look like that in a pick. I know what you've got to do. You've got to be so far ahead of it.
You got to think before the bike thinks, right? Yeah. You got to stay ahead of it and full commitment.
Dude, in 2022, it was qualifying too. We sent him out. He came in. It was like the last 5 minutes of qualifying. He came in for a rear tire, and we sent him out. I think it was 20. I'm pretty sure it was 22 or 23. It was Pittsburgh. Okay, Pittsburgh. Have you been there?
I've never been to Pitt.
So
no.
pit out. You go pit out. It blends on to like basically turn on the exit of turn 1, right? The clock's running out. We throw a rear tire in, and he rockets down on the limiter. He goes down pit lane, and he goes into the blend line, and he's on the pegs, standing doing a wheelie, looking over his right shoulder. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Yeah. I'll send it to you. He does a double look on the rear wheel, standing on the pegs because he knew he had to get out to get the clock going for his flyer. He does a double look back, dude. It was holy shit. Yeah.
Legend. Yeah. He,
dude. Yeah. So
yeah.
Shit. So stuff like that. It's like,
he, where was we at? Was we at Mid Ohio? Yeah. Mid Ohio this year. I was sitting there talking to Lucy Blondell and my boy Shane Lloyd Maggs. And, I feel this bump on my shoulder. I turn around. It's Ty Scott. I was like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "What's up, Simcoe?" My mom was just like, "I can't believe Ty Scott just walked up to me." He's like, first thing he says is, "When am I coming back on the podcast?" I was like, "Whenever you want to, buddy. Let's go." Right. So yeah, it's dude. He's such his energy, his mindset, his focus. He does all these things so well, right?
Yeah, he's got he just turned 20.
He's a kid.
Yeah, he's still a kid, and for how young he is, he's got a really good racecraft. He's got some more to learn, of course, but yeah.
Everybody learns. You never stop learning in this sport, right? I know earlier this year, I forget what race it was. He ended up, I think, was it raining? Or he made a mistake. He come together. Was it with Blake Davis? He came together with it. Ran off the track. Front fan come off. Left foot peg broke off or something.
Yeah, that was at Atlanta.
Dude.
Alabama. Yeah.
There you go. Got on it, dude, and still finished what, 6th? I think it was. I was like, dude, like
he came into the right hander by the museum on D cell, and it locked up on D cell and high sided.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, but.
He broke the peg off, and broke the peg off, and
there was like 6 laps left or some shit like that, 4 laps. It was just some people just got that, what I say, killer instinct.
Yeah,
right. That true champion mentality to where it don't matter. I'm giving it all, and I'm gonna finish this race. Where a lot of other people would have just pulled in and called it a day.
He was Red Bull. On Red Bull Rookies Cup, they pick like a top, like either top 11 or top 13 kids in the world, and he was the only American, Yeah. So yeah, he's got it for how young he is. He's got a resume, and what's cool too, like I said, he was homeschooled because you can't do this. This is what he wants. This is it. This is what he wants to do. So when you talk to him, he's beyond his years from hanging out with adults. Now, I know a lot of other 19-year-old kids. I'm talking a maturity level, So it's cool to have him around because he's an adult, at a teenager already, So it's really neat,
It is to see his progression and. Yeah, so let me ask you this, man. What's your guys? Obviously, I already know the goal is to win the championship, but going into this season, is there anything different approach you plan on doing this season versus the last season?
The main thing is we got to have our setup ready to go. which it will be. It will be. There's so many. Last year we had adjustable triple clamps and adjustable linkages. We had different. That was the first time for that, and it took a little while to get our shit together with that. But we got everything is dialed in now, and we're gonna be ready to go off the truck.
This season is going to be super tough. There's a lot of stiff competition
yeah.
in super sport, which is good. It's good for the sport, right? Let's just talk about all things general in race right now. I want to know your thoughts on, super stock merging with Superbike. What do you think about that?
I think the grid might, I don't know if the grid's going to go down, dude. This thing sitting right here is probably about 80 grand. No shit. I have about 80 grand here. I don't have a swing arm or anything, but everything's polished inside. Ceramic bearings. I mean, to build a full super bike, we're talking to build a privateer super bike. You're probably talking 100 and 140 with a swing arm and the linkage and the radiator and the this has the kit electronics, the Yosh, it has all the stuff, but I don't. But it's the chassis and the swing armor stock. But to build a proper super bike for a privateer, you're talking $140,000, and you need two of them, to travel the country. How are you going to travel the country with one really good spec bike? I mean, you might as well stay home, unless you're going to have the shit. I went racing with people so many times, and they said they can't afford race fuel, and yet they practiced, they trained, they loaded their truck up, they spent hours and hours and hours, and then they drove down to Daytona, and then they used pump gas. Like, what?
Like, what are you doing, man? Like you should have just stayed home, like you said.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like
just stay home.
You've got to. Mike Scott says this thing, and 100%, and he's and this is beautiful. He calls it stacking BBs. When they all seem like really small things, but when they're all stacked up, man, when all those BBs are stacked up, that's when you're better than someone else. And 100%, man, 100%.
Makes sense.
You're gonna load your bike up. You're gonna train. You're gonna prepare your bike, and then you're gonna have a high compression and maybe some cams, and you're gonna use pump gas. Like, yeah.
Yeah. The logic that some people has just blows my mind, right? You're like,
you've got to have all the shit when you're on the banking. When you're on the banking and you've got all the shit, and the guy that doesn't, you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like that times every lap, right? Times every lap, and you've got to have all the shit stacking BBs.
You got to. And the better prepared you are, the better off you are, right? That goes back all in correlation together. It's
luck favors the well prepared.
It does, man. It really does. So one thing I noticed that we do need to touch on real quick before we transition into the personal questions is obviously Azra, the new ownership that took it over with Trevor Spellman and them. I think they've been doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, Alex he's doing real well. Yeah, he's promoting it better. The track days have blended in. There's a lot of new people. The track day people have gone road racing now. So the paddock is a lot of new people, which is cool. It's good. They're promoting it better. The first year it was teething problems, Kevin Elliott, I miss that guy too, man. He was, you know Kevin, right? Yeah. Kevin was good. We were a big family. We're big family for years and years and years. And I was one of the senior riders in the series, Helmbach and Lloyd and Heckles but yeah, it's unfortunate that Kevin passed and all that stuff. And thank God that Alex had the resources to pick it up, because this is a feeder series, of course. Yep. And what I see with Alex is he's trying to make it more like Moto America, so we can prepare these riders to blend into Moto America,
which is a big deal.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
a huge deal, right? So, with saying all that, let me ask you this: what What changes would you like to see in Moto America moving forward?
I'd like to see some more villains and heroes.
Me too, bro. For real.
Yeah, man.
We need that.
Everything's so dirt, 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 dirt.
Hi guys. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Forget all that.
Yeah.
I want to see the shit talking. I want to see even if it's a friendly thing with, two riders say, hey man, you know what, this season, let's talk shit. Let's get it going on social media where people think we just got this, dude, that brings the crowds.
Yeah.
Right. That makes it exciting. People going to buy that $80 pass just to freaking go watch it. Right.
Yeah.
Because of this and that.
They are doing it. The production has gotten quite a bit better. When the MotoAmerica.com and the live, it's gotten quite a bit better. Like my girlfriend Dodie, she watches it when she comes to some of the races, but like she watches it, man, from like Friday to Sunday, man. It's the production has gotten good, but they need to maybe get some more. It's pasteurized and homogenized.
I'll say it, right, because I'm in that gray area of a podcast. I think it's beautiful what they're doing, and I say it all the time. I love Moto America. I just feel like in order for it to, I guess, grow better to help the sport, man, instead of saying what you just said, focusing on the top 6 certain people, which don't get me wrong, they deserve it too, but also focus on everybody else in the paddock, man. Going back from the Talent Cup to Twins Cup to, you got an hour program, but dude, take 30 minutes of that and go through the whole freaking paddock.
Yeah.
And then focus the last of it on your top 6 people, right?
Yeah.
To give the exposure to the future legends of the sports and the moms and dads with the combined income of $120,000 a year, struggling to pay $60,000 for 2 bikes for the entry level racing in Moto America, right? Like I go on this whole fucking tangent on
because Chris, it won't look good on TV with just 6 factory riders on the grid and everyone else gone. Look
at the Talent Cup this year.
Yeah, we talked about that, right?
Yeah,
we talked about that. The Kramer. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I get what they're trying to do. I see it. I just don't think it was the right move. Like me, I would love it to where they need to listen to the parents that are paying to be in this shit, right?
Yeah.
In order for it to cater it to help it grow. I understand it's an expensive sport. We don't get into it because of the money. We get it because we fucking love it. Right?
Yep.
And we love it. The money ain't no thing, right? We're going to do everything we can just to be there anyway.
Yeah.
But just to stack it on more and just cost so much more money for entry, I'm just going to go on and say Talent Cup, right? We $30,000 for 1 bike. You got to buy 2. Then they
buy 2, right?
Yeah. And then they promise all this shit with the semi, with the factory parts and all that. I've never seen a Kramer semi at any Moto America race at all.
Right.
None.
Yeah. But come to think of it, I haven't either.
A little transit van with parts in it. That's about it.
Right.
So what are we doing?
When you could hop up a Kawasaki or a KTM or
an R3 or whatever, right?
Yeah. First of all, it's relatable because it's a street bike, and you can buy that. You can buy 2 of them you can buy 2 salvage KTMs or 2 salvage Kawasaki's for $5,000 or $10,000. Put another several thousand in it with a pipe and a suspension, and go racing.
Competitively.
But traveling is traveling's expensive. Traveling's expensive, and hotels and food and hey, even the big teams, dude. Even the big. Think about on a factory level, like M4 or Attack. You've got an 18-wheeler. You've got, for our team, for instance, right? You've got all these guys. You've got 10 to 15 guys. Fly them in. You've got hotel rooms. You've got rental cars. You've got food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You've got diesel fuel. You've got every year you probably got to go 18. You have to change 18 wheels, 18 tires. We're talking millions of dollars of shit, dude.
Oh, dude,
and
I guarantee it.
And then when these guys chuck their shit down the road, we're talking thousands of dollars of body work and our aluminum fuel tanks are works of art, right? I know what it cost, and when you crash this stuff, oh, dude, when I see this stuff get crunched, it's like, oh, it hurts me.
Money.
It hurts
Cha-ching,
me.
cha-ching, cha-ching. You're like, oh my
It hurts
God,
me.
yeah.
And yeah, it on to travel the country and all this stuff, man, and it costs a lot of money, and yeah, dude.
I figured, dude, just me. I figured probably, and I don't know. It's just my personal guess. I figured to run a super sport team with 2 riders. Of course, you got to have a couple bikes with the salaries and all that. It's going to be at least $2.5 million a year, at least, just for
Yeah,
a super
with
sport
the
team.
with the truck and
with the truck and all the travel, with the 2 riders and the salaries and the bikes. So yeah, $2.5 million easy.
crew chiefs, mechanics.
Yeah, easy.
Yep. Yeah, dude.
Easy.
Yeah.
You know,
Tolls and diesel fuel and all the bullshit and then like I said, when you chuck this stuff down the road, it costs money. It costs money.
it does.
Hey, let's talk
ahead.
about this. Let's talk about this. I want to see Ty Scott on a super bike.
Dude, bro, I've been saying that, dude. I have been saying that. I think that listen, Ty's, I just think his natural ability would suit the 1000.
Yeah. He's super strong.
He's a beast.
He's super strong. He's gonna from what I know about him and everything, I think that he will do better on a super bike than will a super sport bike, you know.
So when's this gonna happen?
Trying to make it happen, man.
I know that's right.
Trying to make it happen.
You guys stay tuned. 2027, right? Let's go.
Trust me.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. He deserves it too. You know, he yeah.
You ever shake his hand?
Yeah, dude, of course. I see him all the time. He shakes my hand and I cringe because I do it with my right. Dude, where I broke this bone, it aches, right? And when I go to shake Ty hand, now I just give him a high five or a fist bump. I'm like, what up, dude? Boom. Dude, he's strong as an ox. He shook my hand. I was like, holy shit, Superman.
And you know when he shakes it, when you shake his hand, when he's squeezing the life out of your hand, he's looking at you in the eye too. He's like
straight dead in the eye. Like, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I love it. But that's, you know what? That sums his character up.
Yeah.
How true
it's cool.
It really is, man. He nothing but the best of luck. I told him when I had him on the podcast just 2 months ago for the second time. You know, I said, dude, you got it this year. You know, we said this last year, but you know, it's just like I told him, and you know this too, David. Dude, it's all these little important puzzle pieces have to be in place and come together in order for it to happen.
Oh,
you
man.
can have all the talent in the world. You could be Marc Marquez, Valentino Rossi, but if you don't have those puzzle pieces in place, guess what? You're never going to fucking win.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Yep. It's all the pieces have to come together, and he's fit, he's strong.
He's determined.
He's
got the will.
Yep.
He does his homework.
He will kick your grandmother down the steps. Trust me,
dude, and laugh the whole time he's doing it with no remorse, right? And I'm taking grandma's cookies, bitch, on the way out the door. Man. And the cookies, baby. Let's go, right? Yeah, I'm out, bitch. Microphone drop. Boom. Yeah, that's, dude. But you know what? Honestly, dude, and I told him this. You gotta have that mentality to be a champion.
Yeah, a lot of people, like back in the day with Rain Rainey and Kevin Schwantz, they all hated each other.
Oh, 100%.
And a lot of people and Ty's like that with a lot of people. He's not friendly with a lot of people. And the thing what's weird for me is I know all these guys for many years, and I'm older. I'm friends with all of them, right? And Ty, he's very
focused.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, don't take it personal. This is what he's got to do to do what he does, you know.
100%. That's why I feel fortunate every time I see him. It smiles and he comes up to me. He's like, "What's up, Simcoe?" I was like, "I love you, Ty. Let's go!" Right? Like, yeah, dude. Again, I'm fortunate and I feel very honored to have that for sure. You know, and I've told him that many times. So it's you're right about that, dude. Because one of my favorite things to do, Dave, is when I go to the races, is of course during Moto Americas, I love to, after I make my initial round, say hi and fist pumps and hugs and all that. I love to sit back and watch a session of each team, all my friends, and see how they come together. See when things ain't going their ways, how they actually handle the situation and how they overcome it and all that. Because that tells a lot about your character too, as well, outside of racing. as it does in the paddock. You just sit back and watch. You learn a lot by just using these right here and watching.
And like I said, like you're talking about character, right? So what impressed me with Ty from being on the road with him and for the past 5 years now, we'll be driving in the RV. Let's say we'll be in Arizona somewhere, and the rear tire will start slapping flat tire, right? That fucker will be out of the RV on the ground with an impact under the ground, burp, burp, like he gets after it, dude. Like he's not a pretty boy. Yeah, I love it. I love that he's not like, I love that he's hardcore like that. Like yeah.
He's not soft like all the new generation of kids out there. You guys pay attention and take heed to that. For real. There's I don't want to get out there. I don't want to get my shirt dirty.
The way I describe Ty and Mike too. Mike said this too. He doesn't go around things. He goes through them. We talked about that. I remember we talked. He doesn't go around it. He won't go around it. He'll go through it.
I mean, honestly, that's the perfect way to sum up Tyler Scott right there, right?
Yeah.
He'll go through you. It's absolute truth, man. Well, listen, dude, bro, this has been a lot of fun, Dave. We're over 2 hours on this podcast, but I told you it was going to go by quick, man. Yeah, I want to transition into where we get to know you personally away from all that. But just when I end this, just stay on with me. We're going to go ahead and schedule our part 2 to this. So the first question I have for you, man, is tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Shit. So something you don't know. My HVAC business, I'm a boiler guy. I do boiler work. So when you race motorcycles, you don't talk about your job ever. Like when you race motorcycles and you're halfway decent at it, like, so my business is HVAC and I do boiler work. I do air conditioning. I do gas. I do heat pumps. I was able to build a really good business up for myself for all these years.
Congratulations, by the way. I meant to tell you that earlier, dude. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, man.
People don't think, dude, it takes a lot of work and determination. Just like what you talking about Tyler Scott to be, you're the same way with your business, right? You got to be that mindset to make it work.
Yeah.
So congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, built a nice business up for myself, which I hardly ever talk about. But like I said, the motorcycle thing is more exciting. So I talk.
What's the name of your business, Dave?
It's Sexy Motherfucker Heating and Air Conditioning.
There you go. So if you're in Pennsylvania, look them up. Sexy Motherfucker Heating and Air, baby. Let's go.
No, it's advanced. It's advanced HVAC.
Love it.
So what else? So I have two skydive jumps. Not that homo shit where they strap you to another guy either.
Oh, so you did it solo where they strap you up and you're on a string system when you jump
no string. No, free fall, man.
Shit.
No, I'll big altimeter by myself, and I jump out the plane with a jump master. I did 2 jumps about maybe 20 years ago or so. It was cool. It was really cool. But I will tell you this: racing that Daytona on a wicked fast
monster like that
is cooler.
Oh, listen, real quick, talking about skydiving, man. I was at Vagina that did it tandem with Homo with the dude on my back, right? It was so my high school buddies, when I went to Phoenix to MMI, then I was scared of heights, bro. Like I wouldn't climb on a roof. I wouldn't get a trim. Like, fuck that. I don't care. I'll just let it go. I'll buy another one. What's about? I don't give a shit. I ain't doing it. They said, we come out and see you in Arizona. You're going skydiving. I said, okay, you ain't coming to Arizona, bitch. Let's go. I'll do it. Dude, I was there like 6 months. My dad calls me up and says, Richard and Dave are coming to Arizona on this day and this time for 3 weeks. I was like, I shit myself because it all come back. I was like, my voice sounded like a little girl. I was like, really? Like, what? Right? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, what's wrong? I was like, dude, I got to go skydiving. My dad started laughing because he knew I was scared to death. He's like, good luck with that. And hung up the phone. And I was even deathly scared even then, right? I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fast forward. They show up. Skydive Arena, Phoenix, Arizona. It's 11,500 feet. There were 6 of us. We show up. I'll never forget it. We go in this little room. The dude's like, watch this video. It's like 10 minutes long. Half of it's like people throwing up and having fun. The other half is
throwing up.
Yeah, having fun. They're puking on each other and all this shit. And we're all looking at each other like, what the fuck is this, right? And the other half is unfortunately, you know, people died and blah blah blah. You had to sign this waiver, and we're all talking shit except for me.
Right.
I ain't say shit because I'm as white as this wall.
You just shut the fuck up, right?
I shut the fuck up quick. I was just like, so we're all in the middle. He's like, who's up first? My buddy Richard, he was an active Marine. He's like, I'm going first. And my dumbass says, I'll go second. Right. This little mouse voice. And they'll start laughing at me, dude. Because even the instructor seen the fear of death in my eyes. So here we go. I get up in there. I'm in this plane. I'm strapped my back to the pilot. I'm back up against the pilot seat. My legs are straight out. The instructor's straight in front of me with his feet right here next to my hip. Right. And the whole time he's like this. And I'm looking out the door because there's a gap in it like this. And
he was like in a trance state.
Dude, bro. And the world's getting smaller, dude. I'm literally pouring sweat. I had to pee so fucking bad. I grab his feet and I wake him up. I said, dude, you are fucking wigging me out. And he looks at me. He smiles. He says, the only thing he says is, you're jumping. You're not going back down without leaving in this airplane. And goes like this. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Like wake up, dude.
Am I in a bad dream right now? So next thing I know, the pilot says, okay, we're at altitude. And I was like, fuck. I get up on my knees. I grab the dash and I look over to my left like this. And all I see is horse teeth from this pilot just smiling like from Hee-Haw.
He's like, fuck you. You're going.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking jumping. He steers it, dude. So the dude straps in. He opens up the door. There's a platform and a handrail. He says, put your foot on that platform, grab the handrail like we talked about. Then I'm 3/4 out the fucking airplane.
So you were in a Cessna with the strut, the wing strut, right?
Yes. And bro, when we jump, dude, it's weird because the first like couple seconds you feel like you're falling and then it feels like you're flying. Right. And then all that scaredness went away. And it was just such a rush of euphoria feeling. It's hard to explain to people that's never done it, right? Yeah. But once I hit the ground, now I can climb on the roof. Now I climb that tree because in my mind, I'm like, fuck,
it broke you of that fear of heights.
It broke me of that fear of heights. But bro, I was this close to calling it quits in that airplane going, bitch, I don't give a fuck. You have to throw me out this motherfucker. You're going to take me down, right? Yeah, I did it. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, the thing for me was when you pull the cord and the chute comes out, when you look up and you've got a good canopy, like, okay, now we're good. Like, but that's the thing, because sometimes they get all intertwined and stuff. But yeah, but both times I didn't have any problems. Like, yeah, so.
Dude, you know what got it to me too is when we're sitting there and we're like, he's like, you grab both the strings and you pull them straight down. You almost come to fucking standstill. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it throws you back. And then he's like, grab and pull down on the right one, and we start spinning. And I was like,
yep.
I think I'm gonna be sick, dude. My shit was watering all down the side of my face. He's laughing. I hear him right here because he's right. He's just laughing. He's crying. Like, he's like, don't you fucking puke on me. I was like, if you don't stop, I'm a fucking Earl everywhere, right? So he gets it, stops spinning, and he goes the opposite way. And then my shit's running all this. I didn't end up throwing up, but it was I was this fucking close to just going on purpose, right?
Nice.
Yeah. But dude, it was great. If you haven't done it, grow a fucking set of balls and do it.
Yeah.
Live uncomfortably and have fun, right?
Yeah.
It was I would do it again. Solo. I would do it solo. I would like to start off on the line that they hook you up to. You go 500 feet, 1,000 feet, 1,500, and then start doing the solos.
Antal Halas, who I raced with the Formula 40, that fucker, man, he is tenacious. He and I square up every year. Antal.
Didn't he skydive at Azra? Wasn't he one of the ones that jumped out the plane?
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
He's like a pro skydiver, dude.
Bro.
Like, yeah. So what he does, he runs a company called Spring Scaffolding in New York City. What they do, they build like 1,000-foot scaffolding on these skyscrapers, and the construction elevators and shit on the scaffolding. That's his company. So yeah, he's talk about not afraid of heights. That fucking guy. Yeah. Antal's good dude. Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. He was, I met him. Absolutely amazing, but not this guy. I work with a guy. He's a retired Marine, iron worker, and he worked out there too. He's like, dude, I'm 1,000 feet in the air walking on these steel poles. And I'm like, dude, it's goofy.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's gangster shit, man.
That's straight G unit shit. There's not me.
Yeah.
I'm like that triple jump talking shit on the sideline going, I got my thongs on today and I'm comfortable in them. And Yeah, I'm good right here. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not doing it. Not doing it. My feet get all nah, dude. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. Let me ask you this, man. What's your worst habit? Mine's procrastinate, man. There's times where I procrastinate.
Me too, dude.
Not not
Me
with
too.
motorcycles, but like laundry and shit, dude. I'm fucking like,
because it's
you know
not fun.
what, dude?
Laundry is not fun.
I do my own laundry. My wife don't do my laundry because I'm anal when it comes to my laundry. I got to wash it in cold and hang dry a bunch of my shit. And but my wife's like all hot and blah. And I just, yeah. So I procrastinate when it comes to shit like that for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Probably. Yeah. Procrastination. Yeah. Yeah. So you're married, right? I was never married. I have no kids. So I live alone. Have a great girlfriend, but
you got girlfriends behind you. You're married. You got them behind you.
That's my side chick right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, she's beautiful too. Yeah,
my side chick. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so the average summer week for me is take care of my customers, right? Maybe I'm on a plane from a Wednesday to a Tuesday or Monday. I come home, do laundry, mow the grass, do go shopping for some food. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about this for a second. It is very difficult for me, and I know you're going to get this. When we are at the racetrack and we are around high level people, high level thinking people, and then you come back to your regular world and you are around low level thinking people, it's very hard for me.
It is,
because like the average person is sleepwalking through their day.
100% agree.
And it's very hard for me to deal with that. Makes me crazy. Because you're at the racetrack, everyone's on it. Everyone is on it. Yeah, and then you come back into the real world and you look over at the guy. You're let's say like a Wawa or a convenience store, and you look over and the guy's like basically drooling on himself, and it's like, dude, it's what we all do is high level. It is. It just is, and yeah.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I couldn't disagree more.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
It's difficult, man. Especially, yeah. It's like, yeah. I laugh. I work with a bunch of those at work, and I call it the circus, kind of like our beautiful circus, but this is not a beautiful circus.
Yeah.
It's more like a men's soap opera. That I sit back and laugh at, and I was like, "Is this even real?" Like, I don't, dude, I don't get it.
Half the country's like it's like inbred derelicts. It's crazy. Just my observation.
I 100% agree. It is definitely not the same as it was when we were growing up, my friend.
It's not the same.
That. It is not even in the same fucking galaxy. And
yeah, the gene pool has floated way down to the bottom.
And I try. Sometimes I sit back, Dave, and I try to understand where like it all kind of got lost in translation, and I just don't know where the fuck it happened, but it somewhere it did. It's but no, I agree, 110%. I feel like that's why I do have a kid. His name's Hayden Rossi, obviously after Valentino.
Nice, Hayden Rossi.
Yeah, and I always told myself when I had a kid that I wanted to be a better man and think better and be better, right? And that's why I am the way I am right now. Is all because of him. I think different.
Well, you teach. I'm sure you teach him stuff, right? You teach him how things. That's the thing. We have in our country. We have an infrastructure like the Hoover Dam, and we have all these amazing innovations. And these derelict people today, they're in positions of power, and they don't even understand how these things work, and they're making policy. It's crazy, dude.
This is a whole nother tangent. I mean, you could definitely go down this rabbit hole. 110%, man.
They have no understanding of how these things work, and they're in positions of making policy. Yeah, it's crazy. That's a whole nother thing.
A whole nother topic that I would love to talk about it next time for sure. So it never ceases to amaze me how do I want to say this? The non-common sense that most people have walking around like a zombie every day.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
Chris, I'll see a 30-year-old guy at a, let's say I'm at Wawa coming in, or I use Wawa as the, you know, and I'll look over a 30-year-old guy, and it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and he's wearing fucking pajamas,
bro, with slip-ons on, right? You're like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, and I look at him, and I'll make sure that he sees me. I'll go up and down, and I make sure I'm like, dude, you are so effing lazy that you can't even dress yourself before you leave your house, and I can't respect a person like this. Anyway, yeah, that's a whole nother dude.
Walmart's the epitome of that shit, dude. Let's be honest, right? Yeah, dude. It's yeah. I tell my son that's why when he leaves the house, I'm like, you know, I don't dress him, but if he's wearing some bullshit, I'm like, no, like at school, like the thing
but
is
it's
now,
good. It's good that like it's good to have a father that'll slap you in the head and say, hey man,
I smack him in the forehead all the time.
Yeah, because a dad's obligation to his son is to raise him to be a man, right? Not to wear pajamas at 1:30 in the afternoon out of, you know, yeah. So that kind of thing, yeah.
It is
so,
the hardest thing for me that I realize is I'm raising him to live without me one day, right?
You got to raise him to fly, dude.
It's part of my job, right? So that's why I really enjoy the time that's why I spend so much time with my boy Ross. That's why I take him to all the races with me when he's not in school, and I do all these things because I want him to experience all those things. And I've never talked to my son as a kid, even though he's 13, but even when he was a baby, I talked to him like an adult. Always have.
Yep.
I never wanted to sugarcoat shit. Dude, driving down the road, Rossi was 3 or 4 at the time. We're big into Star Wars. He's watching Star Wars on the video in the back seat.
1977.
Dude, straight up, right? That was the year I was born. So anyway, Rossi's in the back, and all of a sudden he goes, holy fuck, what was that? And I was like, what did you just say? I grew up in the Navy. We cuss all the time, right? It was just, nobody cares. That's just what we do. So I don't give a shit. So as soon as Rossi said that, I was like, okay, we need to have this conversation. So I said, look, I'm not mad that you cussed. And a matter of fact, in my mind, who's the one that come up with the word that ass and shit and fuck is even a bad word? Like, who come up with that anyway, right? And he's just looking at me. I said, look, there's certain times you can use these, but it's not politically correct to go out in public and say these things all the time. And so I that's how I talked to him, and I taught him how to cuss. I taught him all the cuss words, this, that, blah, blah, blah. This is what they mean. And my buddy was like,
men cuss. Men cuss.
My buddy was like, you can't teach your kid that way. I said, hold up. I'm his daddy, and that's my job to teach him, right? So he has a better understanding. So yeah, I just look at everything different than a lot of people. So
yeah,
got to have the genuine conversations, and you know, even as far as death, dude, he's been around several people dying, and especially as animals. You know, we've had animals and they die, and I'm just like, dude, this is real. It's gonna happen to me. It's gonna happen to you. This is part of life.
We're here, and then we're not here,
dude. For such a short time, dude, embrace and honor the times that we get to spend together, instead of dwelling on how sad you are because they're not here no more. Yeah. Right? Don't never have regrets of, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that. Fucking do it. Right? Like, do it. Like, example, me and Billy Etheridge, right? When I had him on the podcast, we had scheduled part 2, and then unfortunately he's not here no more. Right? So, listen, just be positive, love everybody, and be happy. I mean, it's
oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, dude.
Yeah, man. I get you.
And let me ask you. Go ahead.
But that's why, like I said, it's like, so back home here, I lived in other places in the country, and I live in a small town, and I've got very few racing friends because my friends are on a national level. My really close friends that I like Heckle says, we cheated death and got away with it, right? And that's what we do, right? And so it's just like when you're in the Marines, or if you're, you know, a Navy SEAL, or we do some dangerous shit. And when we're out there with each other, that's another thing, like trust each other, right? I always like to say at the writers' meetings, let's all look out for each other out. Even though we want to kick each other's grandmother down the steps, we have to still look out for each other. That's a big thing because, man, when we're doing this shit at 200 miles an hour, and we are, it's like a knife fight at 200 miles an hour. It's like a knife fight, and we still have to. So what it does, it makes you really close to your asshole buddies,
Yeah, that's that old saying. Keep your enemies even closer, right? That's perfect. Sums it up right there. Because on the track, I want to rip your fucking head off, Dave, and shit down your throat. As soon as we come off, I'm like, bro, let's fire up them let's fire up them steaks and have a beer and let's go, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
great. You know what? That's also the beauty of our sport, and that's what makes it so unique, right? It's able to separate. So this is a question I asked to a lot of my competitors, and I asked this to Ty Scott too as well. Is some people are good at doing this. Other people just cannot do this at all. Matt Mladen's one of them. Is it easier for you to differentiate friends and competitors on and off the track? Because again, some people can't do it. Like Mladen, he didn't have many friends walking in the paddock. He didn't give a shit. He wasn't there to make friends. He was there to win, right?
Well, that's Ty. That's Ty.
100%. That's what he said, right? So what about you, Dave? Did you ever have an issue doing that?
So here's the big difference. Ty is 20 years old. I was 30 and 35 years old when I was racing. When I was really at the height, I was 30 to 40, and I'm still hauling ass I'm 58. I'm still hauling ass, right?
Still getting it.
I'm fortunate, and I say it humbly, right? So I said to Ty, when you get older, you're going to appreciate your friends more. But right now, he's like, fuck you. And I dig it. I dig it
too. I do. It's
a
breath of fresh air.
Chris, when you get older, you understand that there's only in the world or even the country, it's a 0.000000011% that do this and they're good at it. There's a lot of people that play baseball and that kind of thing, but there's a very, very small community to do this, and it's fucking death defying. I always say, people go, what's it like to go fast on a bike? I'm like, it's really cool to go fast on a bike, but dude, the brakes, boom, 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 all strung out. That's dude. And hitting those markers, like going fast is good. It gets hard when you're on the side of the tire. Like Bill Himmelsbach told me years ago, you have to feel for grip. And I'm not a big traction control guy. I generally turn my stuff off. I don't run TC, and the shit's 200 some horsepower. It's 200 over. It's got cams and all the shit and all the stuff. Bill Himmelsbach taught me years ago, you have to feel for grip, feel for that grip. And man, and I've been fortunate to not get effed up. Knock on wood. I've been fortunate, and when you have a feel for the grip, it'll get you through it. A lot of these guys they rely. A lot of these guys rely on the ones and zeros. They just whack the throttle open and they eat shit, dude. They eat shit. Yeah.
I think that, and I've said this many times, I feel like, the electronics, blah, 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 the way of the world.
Because what happens is when you use it all the time, you rely on it.
You rely
on it all the time.
And it also takes away, to me, the way I see it takes away some natural ability to the feel of the motorcycle, what it's doing without it, right? If you know what the bike's doing without it and you're going super fast, you add a little bit to it to maybe help you out just a tad bit. That's okay. But now it's just like you get on there, the guy will unplug it and the rider will go in there and just do this and let the electronics do whatever. That's not teaching you anything. You got to have balls to do that. I get it.
You've got to feel that bike through the pegs and through your legs and on your ass and on the side of the tank and on the bars. The bike tells you the story. It talks to you.
Everything you want to know, you just got to listen.
You got to feel it, and the bike tells you the story. A lot of people they crash and they like, I don't know, dude, it had to have been talking to you before you ate shit. Like you know?
That's why, you know, people, especially the future legends of the sport that are young, that come up and that have that understanding of why they crashed, is a little bit, to me, further in the game than a lot of the others of the same age, because they have that understanding of what the bike's telling them that
Yeah.
it's doing. Then they understand. They're like, okay, now I know what to do next time. You know,
Yeah.
and that's huge. That's half the battle right there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like Casey Davis and Ryder. Casey's like, dude, Ryder's, you know, we still got on train sometimes. I'll totally take his suspension and go the total opposite way and tell him the
Mm-hmm.
bike's perfect. Let him go out there and figure it out. Right? That's getting to know what the bike's doing and what it's not doing, and learning how to ride it fast when it's not perfect,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Which
Chris,
is
Chris, that's just what you said. That's a huge thing I try to instill into Ty. Like, I did this shit. I never had a crew chief. I never had a mechanic. I generally went racing with my girlfriend or by myself most of the time. Believe it or not, like other guys have 3, 4 guys and crew chiefs and all kind of bullshit. You've got to have your shit right, and you've got to understand suspension, and you've got to understand how it feels. Because, like, for instance, when you're out there on a lap and the bike, let's say for grip or on braking or on the side of the tire, when you come in and you are coming into pit in, I want you to, in your mind already, say, I want 2 clicks out on rebound. I want some preload. I want some ride height. My point is when because I did this myself, I had to figure it out, and I've been pretty good at it, right? So my point is, there's a lot of riders that I talk to on a pro level have no fucking idea
none.
what the fuck's going on underneath, on what's going on, and Ty's getting, he's not getting, he's really good at it. That's a big thing, because there's only so much time in in practice, Q1, Q2, and then the race. There's only so much time, and when you are coming into pit lane and you're going to do that debrief, I want you to tell them, this is what I want, and that's where we're at. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's those puzzle pieces, right? Again, it's thinking ahead, understanding what the bike's doing, going out there. Okay,
Yeah.
You know, it's 5, 6, and 7's my worst, you know, part of it. Maybe if I did this, come in, tell them that way, less time in the pits, more time, more seat time.
Yeah.
Right. Is what it is.
Chris, it's not a space shuttle. It's a motorcycle. It's wheelbase. It's ride height, front ride height. It's spring rate and dampening. It's not a space shuttle. It's really, it's actually, when you break it down, once simple. You know, yeah, it's actually really, really simple. You know.
Yeah. To me, though, Dave, the biggest hurdle for me overcoming and understanding the whole thing was suspension was like this black art thing, right? Where I feel like a lot of people get too lost in the translation of, okay, I got a stock bike, but let me put this $2,500 Olin suspension on it. I'm automatically going to shave 2 seconds off. No, the fuck you're not. Not even close, right? Yeah. You have no understanding of how suspension works, what it takes to go, you know, rebound, compression, high speed, low speed, all this shit that goes along with it. My approach is, what made me go faster and progress a little bit more was, instead of adapting the bike to me, let me adapt myself to the bike to get the best out of it for what I got right now.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then once I did all the little tricks I could with the stock suspension, I had springs and spring rates and, you know, PVC pipe spacers or aluminum or whatever it is, air gaps and all this shit that goes along with it. Once I'm fully just wringing the fucking neck out, then I'll be like, okay, now I needed to get a cartridge kit and a rear shock on the back and put me in that, because the faster you go, the stiffer the bike's going to get.
Yeah. Well, as you know, a setup, let's say you have a pro level setup, and then you go out and ride at a pussy pace. It's gonna
feel like shit, dude.
Yeah, you have to load. You have to 100%. Load it. You have to load it, dude. Yeah. You know. But yeah, so for me, it was always geometry, spring rate, and then dampening. The basic geometry of the bike, spring rate, dampening, and then, you know, and then at the level that Ty's at, for instance, engine braking is a huge thing. So engine braking will pull you into the the more engine braking, it'll pull you to the apex. It'll, so some tracks you need more pull and less pull. So that with all of that, there's at the level that they're at for the last 10th in Q2, that last fucking 10th, dude. I do the pit board for Ty for the last 5 years now. I never missed a race. I do the pit board for him. So we finished second in the 200 2 years ago, third in the 200 last year. We need to win this fucking thing. 50 grand to win, by the way.
I know they just upped it. I seen it today.
Dude,
I shared it everywhere.
1,000. Yeah.
Bro,
50,
let's fucking go.
50, 30, and 20, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So yeah, we yeah, it's gonna be. We're coming up with a strategy to get this done, and Heron's tough. Heron's really good in that infield.
Dude, listen, 3 years in a row, first rider in the history to ever do it, could be 4 times in a row. I mean, it's hard. I told my buddy this. I was like, it's hard to beat somebody that is so well clicked with the team and the bike on a particular track, no matter how fast you are. It's hard to beat that combination, right? Matty Skoltz in the R9 and Strackhouse, right? It's hard to beat them because the way they gel so well together. It's all those little puzzle pieces come together, right? He makes it look easy. It's not. It's still a lot of work, but it's hard to beat that combination. Same thing with Heron at Daytona 200. It's hard. Is he going to do it? My money's on Ty Scott. You asked me, I said this to Ty too. I said it to him earlier last year, right? But again, it's a lot of work to beat somebody that is in that Zen mode with the team, but he's not with Warhorse. He is with Rahal, so that's different, right? So it's not going to be the same, I don't think. So
You see, Heron. He posted a thing. He eats like 15 Oreos a day or some shit.
Yeah, I've seen that, right? Hey, you know what, dude? You got
whatever works, man.
Whatever works, dude. Story real quick with Heron. Dude, I've always liked Heron. I remember when he first showed up in AMA back in the day. He ran the number 46. Said little bit on the back of his leathers with the fuzzy, 4.6 like Rossi had. Fast forward, he was with Attack Yamaha, if I'm not mistaken. He was doing the woodworking. He was making those bottle magnets things.
Right.
Of course, I'm like, Josh, I want one. I want to support, my friends racing. Dude, he calls me on Instagram. I'm at my wife's best friend's house. We're cooking out. I get this. My phone's ringing. I look at it. It says Josh Heron Instagram. I was like, shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me right now? Right? Like, let's go. Yeah. And so it just started this friendship that, one thing that I can say about Josh, I always defend him. I think that we need people like him in the paddock. I love his attitude. I love his approach, right? There's characters we was talking about. Right. His determination, man. And he's just like, fuck it. I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit what you think about me. I'm doing me. And that's one thing I really love about Heron.
One thing about Josh, let's say one thing that always amazes me about him, he'll be off the pace in practice and qualifying, and then he'll win the race. Like he'll pull shit out of the bag, man, and like whoa, like he's got that thing where he can just pull it out of the bag and just get it done, So you never can count him up for sure.
No, I think this year again, we talked about it earlier that, dude, what a great time to be alive in this sport, especially with me and you. We've seen all the changes back when the golden days of AMA, where there's millions of dollars going through dude. People were making a fucking living club racing back in the day. You don't need to work full time. You go to fucking CCS somewhere and
back in 2006, I made $3,500 in one weekend in Suzuki money at Daytona. Like in one weekend. Like I'm like, oh, it paid one race. I won the unlimited GP. I think it was 2,000 a win for like 12 minutes of work. 2K. Like that was back in the Suzuki money days. That was great. It was great. Yeah.
Moto America don't even pay that out, right? You make $2,000 in Moto America, man. Like listen, this is my question. Where the fuck do we get lost in translation to where factory teams and people paid you to wear their shirts and ride their motorcycles versus, well, you got to pay us to wear our clothes and ride our bike. Like,
it's gone backwards.
How do we get back to that?
Yeah.
You know, this is the trick. So I don't know, man. It's that dude, listen, this has been a lot of fun, dude. Me and you can sit down. We're almost 3 hours into this. Me and you can sit down and just go and go and go. I love it.
Dude, next time, I'd like to talk about tires, like Pirelli,
100%.
Pirelli, Dunlop. I want to talk about some training, what I see some guys do and some guys not do. Yeah, we'll talk about some stuff. We need to do it like a 3-way.
Let's do it
without sounding fucking gay.
Hey, this is what my buddy says. It's not gay as long as it's on a Wednesday and we got our socks on. Then it's not gay. I said, okay, whatever you say.
No, but you got to do John Ulrich. You got to do Chris Ulrich. You got to do definitely Mike Scott.
Mike Scott, he already told me he's coming on.
Yeah, Mikey Scott.
Mike's definitely coming on. Ulrich. I've been working on Ulrich. I've never asked John. I told you the story about John when I met him at Azred in October. It blew my mind that he's a fan of the podcast. But when I see him at Daytona, I'm definitely gonna ask him and John to come on for sure. And also, another shout out, Jameson, the truck driver, dude. I
love Jameson.
I fucking love him, dude.
He's solid.
Bonded, dude,
solid.
We bonded so well. He was telling me the whole story about his son and his son passing away that night, dude. We were crying together, dude. We were hugging together, dude. He's, again, the beautiful people you meet in this beautiful circus.
So Sunday night after Daytona in October, when Jameson and I took him over to the Daytona hotel and we had dinner. And some drinks and martinis, and we shit talked and had a great time, man. Just he and I. Jameson's great, and
Jameson's awesome,
dude. And do you know Lola?
Lola, I have not met Lola. We're friends on social media, but I haven't met her.
All right, Lola runs the 2-Up program. Hardcore work ethic, and
I need to get her on the podcast,
dude. Lola's great, dude. I met her in 2021 when we were doing the Junior Cup, and she was. I forget what team it was, but she was driving across the country. She had a fifth wheel and driving like a fucking 30-foot trailer, and she's hitching it up and shit, man. Yeah, Lola's hardcore. Lola's pure gold. Yep.
I love it. It's funny because I asked Ulrich at Azra, like, I was like, dude, when you go give me this 2-Up ride? He's like, whenever you want it, Simcoe. I was like, bro, I think I want to do it at either VIR or Atlanta because VIR is my home track and I love VIR.
Right.
But I love Atlanta too because Atlanta is just honestly, I think my favorite track in America besides VIR is Road America.
Dude, Road America first for me, Road America, then Daytona.
Yeah, I love Road America.
Road America, the braking zones at Road America are, dude.
It's also the way it flows, man. It's such a great flowing track.
4 miles, you feel like you're going somewhere, dude.
You do, right?
3 6-gear straightaways.
It's honestly, it's probably the best racetrack we have in America, in my personal opinion.
I'd love to see MotoGP go there. Holy shit, man,
dude! We need not only that. We need fucking World Superbike back. Matter of fact, we need to bring the Translogic back to where we had BSB come over, race with Moto America, and we go over there. Like, this is one thing I've been bringing up.
Road America is badass.
What do you think about this, Dave? You know, trying to make our sport cheaper. I'm thinking, it's just my personal opinion, you know, maybe we need to divide it up, have an East Coast, a West Coast, and a Mid Coast championship, and then the top 10 or 7 or 8 or whatever from each class come together for the last shootout, wherever it is in the middle of the country or whatever. It makes it cheaper for everybody, especially on the East Coast. You can go to the West Coast.
Get some locals in there too.
Get some locals in there. Bring private. You know, it opens up the doors for so much more, and it makes it cost effective for more people to get into the sport because you don't have that travel expense going from Virginia to fucking Washington, bro. That's a 3-day. That's every bit of a $10,000 weekend. 100%.
Sounds good.
You know, so, but anyway, dude, This has been a lot of fun, Dave. I appreciate you coming on here, man. I told
That's
you we'd
good.
have a great time. It's good shit, bro. This episode will be out here in about an hour from now, Spotify, iHeart, and all that good stuff.
Cool.
I'm gonna let you end the podcast, but before I do, I just want to say, like I always say, thank you to everybody that watches this podcast, that hits that like and subscribe. If you have not yet had the chance, please do. It does help me out a whole lot. And again, if it wasn't for Dave and everybody coming on here and listening, I would not be here. So it's nothing but love to each and every single one of you. And I say it all the time. I do have some merch still left for sale. I'm all out of extra large, 2XLs. I only have mediums and small left. So if you're little and you're interested in a podcast shirt, hit me up. I do got some left. If not, I'm gonna bring them to Daytona with me. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all I got, dude. Thank you so much for coming on, Dave. Tell everybody where they could find you on social medias and all that good stuff.
So I'm on Instagram, Club55, and David Loikits on Facebook. So we're going to go down to Roebling Road the weekend before the 200, and we're going to do a test. It's a Dunlop tire test. We're going to get our shit together, and we're going to have our shit together for the 200. And hopefully we can be on that top step, man. Well, you're going to be there, right? You're going to be there.
Dude, you're going to sit. Dude, we're going to hang out. We're going to go out. We're going to go out to dinner. We're going to have some beers, bro. Dude, yes.
Do you like sushi?
I fucking love sushi, bro.
You ever been to Ronin? You ever been to Ronin?
No, me. So me, Casey Davidson, Ryder, my buddy Kevin Napier, homeboy from KYT, Bubba, I forget his name.
I know that dude. Yeah.
The big guy, right? I forget his.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forget his name.
I forget his name.
Him, Kenny Abbott, dude. Yeah, we all went out to a sushi place right there, right down the street from the Speedway at Daytona. It was really good, man. Yeah, I love sushi. My wife, she won't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. I'm like,
we'll hang out, man.
Dude, bro, I love hot and spicy food. Wasabi, bro. Let's get it. Yes, I cannot wait. Listen, just stay on with me for a minute as soon as I end this, so we go ahead and schedule our next one. And listen, I hope you guys enjoy it. There's been a lot of people watching this for almost 3 hours. So again, nice. I appreciate everybody, Chris and Robert and everybody, man. Thank you guys so much for listening to us do this, right? Let's go. So yeah, Dave, is there anything you want to say for I end this?
That's it, man. Much love, and it's been a joy. And like I said, we have a lot more to talk about. There's a lot more to talk about.
Shit ton, right? And when go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead. We can't. You can't go too long because people still have to. It's Friday night. They still have to have sex, you know.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to do, right? Yeah, 110%. But listen, we never used Daytona Baby. That was our keyword for going to the. We never used that one time.
I'm floating, man. I'm floating.
But I'm floating there right now. That's why I said we got to go, right? So anyway, listen, I'll see you here in a minute. As soon as I end this. On that note, we are out of here, people. We'll see you.
Peace.
Peace.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.